would still have multiple X more players, like a lot more players on one channel than they have on a whole world. So the reason why I mention that, guys, is because a lot of you guys come from Tibia and you're like, oh no, like another world or whatever. Like, I get that, but even if 90% of the player population died off in a world, it would still have more active players. Okay. So I mentioned that because I don't want you guys to like have that concern, because like you guys obviously don't really know how many, because of the channel system. Like we kind of almost wish we called them like mini worlds or something, because I think it would come across better and be understood better. But again, a channel or a world with like 2-3 channels open is like 10x or 20x the amount of players on a normal Tibia world. And this applies for a lot of games. Like I'm willing to bet that one of our channels has more players than a lot of World of Warcraft worlds has on. And so when you guys are like, oh no, like what if like some of the player base drops out? Even if it's 90%, it'll still be incredibly populated. It just means we have less channels. Like we will reduce channels as post-launch goes on. So anyways, I just want to make that super clear, guys, that like this should not be a concern. And like we see the numbers and we know it's not a concern. Even if 90% stop playing on a certain world, it will still have a lot of players, I promise. Yeah. So that's why when if we were to have, for example, a EU server with like 5 channels, for example, instead of like 18 channels open on 2 worlds, this would still have a shit ton of players. And if we open an EU server right now, I'm pretty sure we would fill 15 channels, even with the other worlds open, because the peak numbers during the day just get so high. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that. I'm going to throw the straw poll a bunch more times so people get a chance to vote. Because I'm just kind of curious on what it's kind of skewed, obviously, because right now it's, 2 o'clock in the EU, where it's 5 a.m. here in North America. But in the end of the day, like I'm more just looking for yes and would you start fresh start. The reason why I mention, guys, is because adding support for transfers is not something that we'd be able to do easily. It's something that we could do, but it would take a lot of time to set something like this up. Starting up a fresh world, like an EU world, would take us a few days. Again, I need to be super clear though, guys. This is not me saying we're going to do an EU world at all. Okay. Cause we're going to talk about something. Yeah. Someone mentioned it, the proxy system. We're going to talk about that pretty soon here today. And EU frogs and South American users and Oceanic users, you guys can rejoice, because we do have, a solution coming, today. So, for all of you guys in anywhere other than NA East, I'm NA West, so I'm excited too. We have a solution coming, and I will announce it in this stream. I'm just gonna let as many people come in as possible. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, because when we had the proxy system up, for anyone who doesn't know, we disabled the proxy system temporarily because it was causing about 5% of users just to have like a weird connection error. And it was because of the proxy system. We know that. We think that like OVH, our like server provider, might have been blocking the traffic because it was like all looking like it was all coming from like the same IP. We think that's what it is. We're still like troubleshooting it. This thing, we've had a lot of other things on our plate. So we disabled it for now. But like going from that to without it, pretty much everyone from EU and SA was like, oh, it's so much laggier. And it is, right? Like some people's connection was dropping literally like 70, 80 MS, right? It was dropping from like 180 down to 100. So this is a huge difference. So we totally get that. And that's why, like, for a lot of EU people, they've been like, oh, it feels way laggier. And it is, right? It is. And so we have something coming today though for that. Okay. Regarding Brazilian server, guys, this is not nearly as simple as you guys think it is. South American infrastructure is very hard to pull off. AWS does not have the type of server infrastructure we need. We have like a direct connection with them. We got offered like 100, well, actually more than 100,000 in AWS credits to like work with them, like 100,000 USD worth. We would love to work with AWS. They don't have the server infrastructure that we need though. So that is not possible. And a lot of server providers in South America are really, really bad. Able to zoom out camera more, please? I think I'm zoomed in, zoomed out enough. Bandit's being very lazy. Bandit, come on, come on. Here, I show you. My other dog loves jumping up. I don't think Bandit will. Bandit, come on. Oh, here, I think. Here is Bandit for all of you guys. Say hello. Look in the camera. Look in the camera. No, he's not interested. He is very tired still because he likes to be in my office when I'm awake, but he doesn't. He likes to sleep. He's a lazy boy. Yes, that is Bandit IRL. My other dog. Actually, I'll get him quick. One sec. Come on, Cooper. Okay, show you my other dog. Cooper, come on. There you go. Here's my other dog. Cooper, come on. Okay, now Bandit's trying to fight with them. Okay, never mind. Okay, now they're play fighting. So, sorry, I'm gonna close my door 1 second. Both of them get really jealous whenever you play with just one of them. No pants stream. No, actually, I don't know why. I just turned it off. I definitely have pants on though right now. Actually, I can confirm. Pants. But commando stream. God damn, that'd be so. Like that would be the sign of a true leader. That's the sign of a true leader. Okay, sorry. Back on topic. What kind of? Yeah. Anyways, those are my two dogs. Bandit is the older one. Cooper is the younger one. Cooper is not in the game yet, but he will be in the game. But Bandit, obviously, most of you guys know, it is based off my dog, and yeah. I believe it means not camera zoom. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Okay. So anyways, back on, I'm going to try and get through like one thing at a time, guys. I know there's like a million questions that I will get through, but I want to tackle one thing at a time. Okay. So that is the first thing. I hope you guys understand how our infrastructure works. Okay. In terms of channels and how each of those should be seen as a mini world that can just play together. Okay. Please understand that. Because I think a lot of people think like each channel has like 100 people on it or something. Anyways, so yeah, I'll let you guys keep voting that poll. Feel free to share it with your EU friends. And also one thing you guys got to know, like we have like streamers that we never could have imagined playing Ravendawn. Alan Zoka was talking about Ravendawn just the other day on a stream with like 16,000 viewers. We have huge Polish content creators we never would have imagined would be playing that are like obsessed with the game. This has obviously driven an insane influx of users. Kind of just going back, guys, like we know MMO launches are way bigger than betas. We're not naive to that. Okay. I've been an MMO player all my life. I've probably been in every major MMO's launch. We are not naive to this. And I really hope you don't think we are. But in the end of the day, we went borderline, whatever your definition of viral is, everyone's is different. Obviously we didn't have 100 million views like Mr. Beast viral, but for our niche, we went absolutely viral in like over the weekend leading into launch. And like we expected to get like traction and probably have like, I don't know, 5 times open beta numbers, whatever, something like that. Like usually open betas, some games are open betas are like, look at New World's open beta. It was higher than their login or than their launch population. And so we expect like, okay, let's prepare for like 5X. We never could have expected what we hit. We never could have expected, Jukes to be live with 6,000 viewers, Alan Zoka to watch our trailer, let alone the like hundreds and hundreds of content creators that we have that are like more micro creators, right? They have like 100 viewers or something. Like these guys carry a lot of weight too, right? They have very close fan bases, very passionate community. If they play a game, like they're gonna have there's a way higher likely chance that their community per person is going to play. And so again, these are just things that we never could have imagined. Actually, I have one more thing. Sorry, give me 1 sec, guys. I'm just trying to grab like one more insane number here. I just need to grab it from our marketing manager. Hopefully I can just drag it on my screen here. This is our Twitch numbers right now. Okay. 502,000 unique viewers. Okay. This is unique viewers, almost 1 million hours watched with almost 1,500 unique broadcasters. This is not something that we could have prepped for or ever expected. The reason why we couldn't prep for it, guys, is servers are not cheap. We could not have purchased as many servers without the number of players we have, because we just could never afford it. It's just like not something we would be able to do. And so, oh, there's the restream. So I hope you guys understand, like, this is not us, like, yeah, it just wasn't possible. And setting up servers takes time. I hope that most of you guys understand that we have, like, or see, and I know most of you do, but that, like, we have been very proactive and very quick to respond, right? Day one with Angerhorn, guys, there was 2,000 people queues per channel, guys. I don't know if you understand that. That means every channel roughly had 2,000 people in queue. This is an absurd amount of people. And by day two, we got those queues down to like 400, right? Just opening up more channels, opening up second server infrastructure, and you know, dramatically improve the queue system. There was insane issues with it. It's still not perfect. We understand that, but it is much better. Like, all I can say is, like, we have worked every minute we can feasibly work. We're not going to bed and sleeping 8 hours. We're not, you know, working 10-hour shifts. We are working every minute we're awake. And we are not sleeping very much. And this is not a woe is me at all, guys. Like, this is an opportunity for us. And we are so excited that you guys have given us this opportunity. This is absolutely the opposite of a woe is me story. This is only like, we are doing everything, and I promise we are. Because I know a lot of game studios, even on their launches, it's like strict 8 hours working. You know, they're not handling stuff at night. I understand, like, that is very common. That is just not the way we do it. And I hope you guys understand that, like, there is nothing more that we can do at the pace we're doing it. You just need to trust us and give us a little time. Today we have hopefully very big improvements to the login system. The login system, we never would have expected the amount of logins. This, I mentioned in an announcement, guys, but this is a vicious cycle, right? What happens is the login system gets overwhelmed. So the queue system gets a little weird, right? People's position jumps and they get disconnected and all this kind of stuff. And so what happens is, because of that, people are rapidly trying to reconnect, because they're like, oh my God, like, I can maybe get a lower spot if I spam reconnect, right? Which bogs down our login system more, which makes it get worse, which makes people do it more, which just is this downward spiral until it's like, okay, screw it. The login system's dying. It's dead. And that's what happens, right? So and this is a spiral problem that it's our problem, right? Like, we had to fix it. And that's why we are doing a bunch of improvements during this maintenance to hopefully improve that, guys. Also, we understand the marketplace is very laggy. And that is strictly because, like, in open beta, in past tests, we never had this kind of volume on the marketplace. This amount of transactions, this amount of people opening at once, this amount of people refreshing at once. And then as it gets laggier, people are spamming refresh more. Again, this is a recipe of success and opportunity, and that is a huge blessing. And again, there's no woe is me story here. There's purely a, like, please bear with us, guys. We are making improvements, and most of you guys have seen huge improvements. But it takes time, right? It takes time, and we will, you know, we're working all weekend. We're not taking a minute off this weekend. Nothing will change. We are going to be doing everything, and in our power. So yeah, I hope you guys understand that, and we thank you so much, like, obviously, for the patience, guys. Like, no one owes it to us, but it means a lot to us when you are. We feel we've made an amazing game, and we know the people that are playing. Bless your hearts for those that are just not getting through the queue boss very quick, and they just don't have as much time. I apologize, guys. Like, soon, we really hope that it's all good for you and you can just jump in right away. But we know those that are playing are absolutely loving the game and absolutely hooked on the game. And you know, we're very proud. And you've only experienced, like, the very tiny little start of the game. That's the crazy part. And that's what's so cool to us, is people are already having so much fun. Because as a developer, like, I'm always, like, scared, like, well, the beginning's so boring. Like, it's so slow. Like, there's so little you do, and there's so little things to do and stuff. So I kind of get scared, right? But people are like, up to level 30 and they're like, oh my God, this is so fun. I'm like, oh my God, well, wait until you see what there's next. Right. So yeah, I hope, the next thing I'm going to talk about too is, because this is a huge question, is on housing. So give me one sec. Now I'm going to play when you guys actually release. Today is certainly not possible to play. Yeah, I mean, obviously tens of thousands of people beg to differ, but I do understand that some people's like threshold for what they're willing to put up with is lower because maybe there's like other games they like as well, and that is like completely fair. I'm in the same position. If there's like a game that releases and there's another game that I'm excited to play as well, and there's other games having issues, yeah, I'll wait a week or two to play the other game. So like I completely understand that, but like saying, obviously, I mean, tens of thousands of people would beg to differ, and they're playing and having a great time. But I totally understand that everyone has a different threshold for what they're willing to put up with. And some people are like, I'm just going to wait a week or maybe just not even gonna try it. And that's totally fair. We really encourage you, to try it, in the future, but, totally understand. Regarding houses, guys, people have been, oh my God, we have 3,500 people between Twitch and YouTube. Man, YouTube, listen, YouTube guys, you guys got to get your numbers up, okay? YouTube has I think just over 100 viewers, where Twitch has 3.5K right now. But I understand that. Listen, Twitch is the gaming hub. I get that. Talking about housing, because this has been one of the biggest concerns. Rapid fire, a couple things. Right now, you cannot change your house position. Obviously, you can delete your land, and you do get your scroll back. It gets mailed to you. And we have that in for certain restriction reasons. That doesn't just go straight into your inventory and it gets mailed to you. We are going to look at if we can do some changes with that, whether we can just put it directly in your inventory. The reason why that's an issue is because obviously if you want to turn your land, most people are like, yeah, sure, I'll just delete my land and replace it. Or not turn your land, turn your house or move your house. The problem with that is obviously it gets mailed to you, right? So there's a very good chance your land gets sniped in that time, unless you work with a friend that he claims, but we get that. That's not practical. And so we are working on improvement for that. What I want to say before I dig into all the things that we're working on, what I want to say, guys, is, I hope you guys know we have a lot on our to-do list that we really want to handle ASAP, but it has to be in a priority order, right? Getting the server stable, making sure it's not laggy, making sure when a server boots up, there's not a shit ton of lag. By the way, anyone curious, when we have those huge lag spikes, it's usually because we reboot a channel and the login server gets so slammed by people trying to spam reconnect. That's why sometimes other channels and that channel, especially on boot up, are really laggy. We're hoping that is fixed as of today during this maintenance. And so, but just so you know, that is why it sometimes gets so laggy. It's usually because the channel's rebooting, the login server just gets slammed. Again, we're hoping that's fixed today. But just going through it, we have a lot of things that are top of the priority list for us, but we have to prioritize server stability, lag, stuff like that, and that has to be number one. And right now that is consumed basically every free minute we've had. And so there's a lot of things we want to improve. We want to allow people to better change their land position on their house. I need to explain, this is not a simple thing. Sometimes things sound so simple. Why can't you just let us remove the house and replace it and change it and stuff? Some of these things are sometimes multiple days of work. And I say that because right now we can't afford that. That time is multiple days because we have so many things with the servers. But these are things that we absolutely can do as soon as the servers are under control. And so, yeah, so right now that is the only way. We hope in the future, guys, keep in mind, you will move on to medium and large land in the future. You will get a chance to claim new land and change the position of your house, because when you move on to new land, you have to abandon your small land when you get a medium. So that also leads into two things for people that don't have land yet. There is still land available, but we understand it's in higher level areas, which makes it really tough to get to. Some people are braving the voyage. We've seen a lot of land claimed already in the 45 areas and stuff. But understand that as people move to medium land, small land will open up because of that, right? So understand that as well. The next thing I wanted to mention though, guys, is so many people, it's weird because there's a tutorial for it. But community land is instanced. Everyone gets community land. And a lot of people are panicking because they're like, what if I get no land? Can I just not play those parts of the game? You will have community land. However, we are also going to be making improvements to the community land. They might not come in this maintenance because they're very focused on just the stability side. There's a slight chance it does, like a 10% chance. Otherwise, hopefully we put it in tomorrow. But we will be dramatically buffing the community land by lowering the levels required to unlock more of it, because you actually unlock all the community land as you level up. Our goal is basically that at the time you can get small land, right, the level 25, that the community land will be as close as possible in comparison. I need to also say, guys, the open world land is intended to be slightly better. Okay. Right now we are going to definitely close that gap, but it is intended to be slightly better. When I say slightly better, I mean like 10, 20% better, not 50, 60% better. That is our goal. And so if you don't get land, please don't panic, and keep in mind that land does open up. They don't own it forever. There is a rental period when people stop playing, that land opens up. Please look at the long term of this. And also understand, guys, that it is okay that we have a finite land system as well. We want finite land. We want that mechanic of like a rare piece of land to own. And people, I'm sure, are going to sell it in the near future and stuff like that as well. Please understand though, we are making improvements to community land, so it doesn't feel like, oh shit, like I'm at such a huge disadvantage. And we also will be adding houses to community land. Okay, this is like one of the very top priorities for us. As soon as the servers are under control, that will be like our full focus. And so with that, please understand that while you don't have it now, houses will come to community land, and you will get to experience that whole part of the game as well. Okay. ETA, I don't have an ETA. They're all in voice right now. I'm obviously in here.
Pô, devia aumentar a comunitária land, não sei se esse que ele tá falando de fato.
Things are ready to come back up.
Tá falando de um equilíbrio entre a comunitária land.
It's not fair. Houses are not cosmetic. Can you
E
explain
quem
what
tem
you mean by
casa,
that? Just out of curiosity.
no caso.
I'm not sure how people level so fast. I feel like I quest for hours only to get one level. I'm not even level 20 yet. This shit started. Yeah, I mean the game definitely slows down. Like yeah, I don't really know obviously how to answer that. I can tell you that there are absolutely players that are like completely no life in playing. That is normal in an MMORPG, right? This is super common in an MMORPG. And we don't believe in like discouraging that and saying they can't do that. Yeah, because they play like 14 hours a day, and that is the reality of it. And listen, I've had phases of my life where I played MMOs, like a launch would come and I would take 2 weeks off or whatever. And most of them are taking time off. Everyone loves to right away blame like, oh, it's because they like don't have it. A lot of them just took time off. Like if you look at the Discord for a month, the month before launch, tons of people were talking about how they're taking like a vacation week or whatever. The best MMO launch in the past 12 years. You guys are doing great despite all the people whining and crying. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I mean, listen, in the end of the day, MMO launches are notorious for having issues. And it is not because every MMORPG studio in the world is just incompetent. Some of the best devs are usually in MMORPG studios. And even like billion-dollar companies like Activision have issues with launches. And it's just because of the nature of the game.
Exceto Activision.
Thousands, tens of thousands playing together at the same time, interacting with each other. This is so different than like a game like, I mean, Diablo 4 had issues too, but this is so different than a game like Diablo 4 or Path of Exile, right? These games behave very differently in how they're structured. And listen, we're a newer studio. We are, you know, we're learning a lot of things that we can improve. I guarantee you that we will fully redo the queue system when we have time, but this is like a week of work. This is something that we will look to do. And you know, we're learning through this too, right? Like, you know, we are learning and we're improving. But as someone who is a MMORPG veteran, I also have played a lot of games that were infinitely worse than what we've had.
Porque eu entendi que ele não é uma empresa que quer, tipo, visar recursos bilionários, bilionários, nem Activision e tal, que tem aversão contra isso.
Are you thinking of any class balance in the first few days? Right now, class balance is actually really strong. Most cases, a lot of cases of people complain about class balance. Because we dig into this info, right? A lot of the times they just either have a pretty not great build,
balanceado,
or their gear is just a lot weaker, or there's a lot of other reasons. They're like, they don't even have Raven cards equipped. We appreciate when there's like somebody who's played for a couple days complaining about class balance, when they play against like someone who's played every single alpha and beta over the last 4 years. But I guarantee you we will do frequent balances, but right now there is not a reason for it. So 90% of people I've seen both. So it's hilarious as a developer because we see both sides. Casters are so much weaker than melee right now. Melee is so weak compared to casters. Literally, that is the dichotomy of players. They always will say theirs sucks especially if they walk by a guy who has like better gear, better Raven cards, has a better build, and they are outperforming them. But we see both sides, people screaming how bad melee is, people screaming how bad casters are, people screaming how OP warfare is, how bad warfare is. We see both, all of it. That means that we have a good balance. When we see everyone saying that their side is too weak or the other side is too strong, that means we're as good as it gets. The scary part is when 99% of people agree on one side, even the people playing it. Oh my God, I went to sleep for a minute. And there was a sudden live stream. I'm not sleeping anymore. Sorry, Labosi. Do you have enough people working on the Polish translation, or do you need more? Listen, localizing an Mmorpg in another language is months of work. Okay, even with 20 people doing it, we had a lot of people localizing for Portuguese. It took a very long. There is so much dialogue in the game, guys. We hope to get it in the future, but this is not something that's gonna like come next week. Serviceability implies market stability. Ideally, yes. So, I'm trying not to promise anything. I'm just saying that we are making improvements, and hopefully those are huge improvements. If not at least minor improvements. And if they are not big enough improvements, we will make more, right? It just takes time, right? We know things that we want to improve and change, but we need to prioritize like how much time do we have and what can we focus on first and tackle that first.
Alguma coisa aí do Brasil tá falando.
So a lot of people ask if they can zoom out more. There are multiple reasons. One, the reason why we don't have zoom is as a tile-based game, this is a huge advantage. If anyone played Lost Ark and they remember the ultra-wide debacle, everyone forced their client to ultra-wide mode so they could see more of the screen. It was a huge advantage, obviously, especially in PvP. There's a reason why we don't allow zoom. In terms of like, if we would ever do a bigger zoom out, one thing that's already sometimes tricky is like accurately clicking on creatures and stuff. This will just get harder if we increase the zoom. We understand that sometimes it feels good to zoom out more, but you also gotta understand a lot of the world was designed around the current what you can see. If we suddenly made it so you could see 3 more tiles wide, there would be areas that you're walking by that you should not see something that you would then see. This is not just something that like, like everyone wants it, let's do it. That is not how things work in game development. Yeah, it's not just something that we would change. Are you planning to put some music soon? We absolutely are. Our composer is working on ambient music. We just had to prioritize stuff we wanted for launch. So.
O ambiente, a música, a composição, tá tudo prioridade. Launch só. Pô.
We do have a mini.
É bem imersivo mesmo. Ravendawn é imersivo. Vamos implementar zoom.
Yeah, of course. Raven packs due to maintenance. No, but we have something else that we're going to be doing. We got something else. It's coming. Any positions open for C++ devs? Actually, yeah. If you want to apply, you can go to tavernlightgames.com. You'll find it. That's the URL, but you'll find it. I guess that's your first trial to see if you can find her. But anyways, tavernlightgames.com. You can go to open positions. Right now, I think the only open position is technically a pixel artist, but just send in a general application and we will take a look. I do need to say, like, we get a lot of applications. Please be patient. Right now, we're really busy with other stuff. And so we won't be looking at it, but we will, guys, like, one thing I need to say is we are an indie studio. We have about 40 full-time devs in the studio. We are still, we're under 100, so we're classified as indie, but we're also not like super small either. Obviously we're small compared to like a WoW team of thousands of people, or New World team, or any, bigger MMORPG. But we will, like, the numbers we have done, we will absolutely expand the team and we will absolutely be able to do more here in the future. So just so you guys know. Oh, another thing, guys, on tickets, guys, we never thought it would be possible to hit the ticket capacity. A lot of you guys are like mentioning like, oh, I can't open a ticket. Like, why can't I open a ticket or whatever? And like, they tell me to open a ticket, but I can't. We apologize. Our ticket system has literally been just hitting capacity constantly. And we are trying really hard to keep up. We have like 10 people on tickets. But people open tickets to ask like, where's this quest NPC? You know? And so, you know, a lot of the time, a lot of the tickets are just things that probably people shouldn't be opening tickets for, right? And it slows down other people's tickets because then people have actual big problems that we cannot get to because we kind of have to go in order of the tickets because we can't just like click on all of them and make them all as red. We have to kind of go through them. And so we deal with this a lot where over half the tickets are people just asking gameplay questions or even like what is a Raven card? Like, please just go to the wiki. There's also we have a pinned new player video that's like 40 minutes long where it's a creator who literally like goes through every single part of the game. It's 40 minutes long. I get it's really long, but it's in order. I'm gonna remove this Twitch viewership thing. Sorry, I forgot about it. It's literally in order of like as you go through the game. So like you don't have to watch the 40 minutes. Just watch like the part that you're not sure on, or watch it as you're going through it. But like it really slams our systems when this is what's happening, especially when people are like tagging staff. Like we've had people that tag like 8 staff members just asking what somebody is. We don't want to get to the point that we have to turn off tags in the channels because it makes it way easier for us to respond to people that really do need help. But we might have to if people kind of do that stuff because it just pulls our attention away. Also, guys, thank you. Like so many people are being so supportive and stuff. I see all of it and it means the world to me. Thank you like so much. And it really does, guys. Like when you guys are saying stuff in the Discord and like supporting us and stuff, sometimes it's a huge breath of fresh air. Like, you know, we are every second responding to people as fast as possible. But anyways, on the ticket system, like guys, like even with 10 people responding to tickets, there are just so many that get opened for various things. And it just takes us time to get through them. I apologize if it's ever full. We obviously try really hard to make sure it never gets full. But keep in mind, like we use third-party software for this, like pretty much every company in the world does. And that is their limitation. That is the limit that we can get to. And yeah.
Ele tá falando que a empresa que faz
Can we buy card packs with in-game
que
coins?
gera
No,
os
you
tickets
cannot.
e tal,
You can
deu
only buy
problema e
packs
tudo
with
mais,
in-game
e tá
currency
explicando como é que funciona a parada
grind
dos
for.
tickets e que eles têm suporte
Why are you deciding to make the game free?
no fórum,
Most modern
Discord.
MMORPGs, especially more niche ones, are usually free to play. It's a pretty common model. Also, a lot of people ask, like, are there going to be like super hype, like late game drops? We have a player driven economy, right? With that, we want majority gear to come crafted. However, if you care a lot about like, hey, I want those hyper rare drops, look up trophies, look up rare cosmetics, because these do drop. They drop more as you get through later in the game. Once you get to kind of 35 plus creatures, you'll see more of these kind of very rare, valuable things. But there is also some more akin to boss stuff at late game. So if that is what you're looking for, like I want those hyper rare drops to be fetching after, that is like equipment related, not just like, you know, products or cosmetics and stuff. That is something to look for. And we will probably add more of that content later in the game. But making all creatures just drop armors and shit is not part of our game design. And it does not work with the player driven economy we are trying to do. Just so you guys understand. That is not something we want. Any plans for anti-cheat? We see there are some bots already. Yeah, we've banned a fuck ton of botters. The reputation limit is a huge thing. Pretty much every botter we are catching before they get to the point that they can trade. So I want you guys to understand that. A lot of our tickets that we deal with right now are botters crying. So we are hyper on top of that. And we have ways to measure how we are doing on that. And we are doing a very good job on that. Don't get me wrong. We have more aggressive stuff that are gonna be more like blanket wide bans coming pretty shortly here. We have reasons why we don't do that like literally every day. But if you're botting and you're cheating, they're permabans, right? So just be prepared for that. We have a lot of people that open tickets crying, please give me one chance. You're not getting a second chance. You're permad. It just is what it is. If you want to cheat, that you're taking that risk. You're taking the risk of getting permad. And I can pretty much guarantee you we will catch you. A lot of people think they have like really smart bots, you know, ones that like even change their behavior when they see a GM. We have obviously ways around that. And even so, like we have ways to tell that you are still bodying, even though you're not moving or doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Essa parte aí. Não vi.
Service stability implies market stability. Hopefully, yes. We hope
Service
that is
de
the case.
build,
Otherwise, we will make improvements to the market, like more improvement. Again, it's just a time thing. Ravendawn having a better launch this season. Discovery World of Warcraft. Yeah, the EU launch was a shit show from what I heard from my EU staff. The NA launch was pretty smooth, but I heard the EU one was a complete dumpster fire. Weren't you guys saying useless armor can be destroyed for Dawn Essence? Maybe I heard, but I was almost certain. Yes, sir. I don't know what you're referring to on that, but yes, you can. But if you're referring to that on creature drops, that doesn't conflict with the player-driven economy side, right? The intention of that is that crafters have a huge role in the game. That's what we want. Are we gonna have treasure drops? I mean, special unique items like BDO. Yeah, that's kind of what I was mentioning about the late game stuff. We do have that.
BDO.
Are Ravenpack's titles going to be sent out, mentioned in the announcement? Yes. So we had to, that is part of the maintenance. Part of the reason why, or something that's coming in the maintenance as well, is the title in game, so that we can drop that to everybody. So yes.
So yeah, Ravenpacks, cara, é um monte de qualidade de vida que eles têm que implementar ainda, cara.
Well, you had map clicking. We do have map clicking right now.
Yeah,
Any plans for EU service? We did launch a poll earlier about that, and I did talk about that at the beginning of the stream. If you want to, I'll spam it again. If you want to know all that I talked about, I talked for almost 10 minutes about it. Go to the very start of the stream. I think it was like the first topic I dug into.
O mapa tá tudo bugado, entendeu? Fica bugado assim de tempo em tempo. Às vezes fica relâmpago assim, ó.
There is a tutorial on the wiki, I believe.
Escada, meu Deus.
On how to play on Steam Deck. There's a million YouTube videos people made of how to play on Steam Deck.
O personagem vai descer a escada e tem mob e fica louco. Mas vai ser tremendo demais, velho. E às vezes fica travado. E as travadinhas acontecem também.
When are outfits coming? I assume you mean like when can you get new cosmetics? I think it's like around level 30 that you kind of can get, or like you can get it earlier. But I think that's kind of when you naturally start getting the cosmetic items for like the first outfits.
Sim. Que mais, cara? Que mais tempo? Bora ajeitar.
Also, but I guess so many people are asking for like really minor quality of life things. I mean, maybe to them it's very important. These things will come, but like these are not priorities for us. There's games that listen, anyone here has played WoW? How long did it take them to do a UI improvement, a UI revamp? What, like 15 years? They relied on like third parties to do it for them. Like quality of life stuff is obviously a priority for us when we have time. But yes, please be patient. Like it's been 3 days since release, right? I mean, it hasn't even been 3 days yet. People mentioning market, check announcements, or I've talked about it already twice during the stream, but we comment on it in our announcements. Guys, one big thing I need to say, we get asked the same like 5 questions every day that are always in announcements. I understand not everyone wants to get pinged, and that is totally fair. And I understand that we were pinging a lot as we were doing stuff because it's important that we get people's attention on those things. But please, before you ask, oftentimes please just read through our like latest 2 or 3 announcements, because almost always your question is answered there. And it can be a little frustrating when people are like asking questions from like the level 5 tutorial, like what is community land, when there's literally a tutorial that explains what community land is and how it works. And it's because they just click past it, jump in the Discord and start spam tagging us like, well, how does this work? Like it makes like, you know, that is tough for us, right? And we understand people hate tutorials, but if you're one of those people, if you're going to spam click through a tutorial, take like 2 minutes to at least go to the wiki or something and read about it before asking. I know some people just aren't built that way. Like they would rather skip all of it and then ask somebody to help them. But I encourage you as a growing adult that it can be many times good to just, you know, take a second and look for yourself. They can mute the server. Yeah, they can. And obviously a lot of people do, and they can. And that's what we tell them too. Like if somebody complains about, oh, we're doing too many announcements, we do those announcements because usually it is important. We do not everyone tag somebody because we're like, hey guys, how's your day? Here's a funny GIF. We do it because it's like, we have a maintenance coming up, or we understand the marketplace is having issues. We do these tags because the people that need to see them mute it. And then they come in the Discord and ask a question. If you just unmute it, you'll get the answer faster than if you came in and asked and waited for a response. Just so you guys know. But yeah.
Falando que vai responder perguntas.
Guys, to be clear, we would never do regional pricing for a global game. This is not something you do. For obvious reasons, right? I mean, anyone can take 1 or 2 steps to think about why you don't do that for a global game. If you have a regional locked game, that's different. We don't like regional locking. We don't think it's good. If you have a friend in North America and you're from EU, we don't want to say you guys can't play together. You know, there are so many people that are playing with friends from other regions. We never want to say, okay, you can never play with this person because we want to make it so this is $1 cheaper for this area. That's why we priced Patreon the way we did. Our Patreon is like less than half the price of a WoW sub. It is half the price of Albion Premium. It is less than Tibia's Premium. And I like to think we have a little bit bigger of a game.
Todos têm Premium, né?
User-wise, we have a much bigger game. But obviously we're in launch phase, right? So, you know, but even 3 months from now, I'm pretty sure we will. But you know, we're half the price of a RuneScape membership. Like we are priced very low because we want to make sure it's accessible for every country. That means that countries that it's really cheap for, you guys can celebrate. But we don't believe in regional pricing. Not everyone is on Discord. That is completely fair. And again, we do try and do announcements in game. We understand they go away pretty fast right now. We do, so I'm just gonna close this. We do have improvements coming to that, so that it like stays up longer and that it ideally pins and stuff. We just have to prioritize what's important right now. But we understand that like Discord announcements, not everyone sees it. I'm more speaking to the people that come in or that are in the Discord and asking these questions on the announcements. Not so much the people that like message us in game or whatever, or open a ticket online. We get not everyone has Discord, and that is totally fair. Also, I just gotta say, our Discord has gone from like 27,000 to, sorry, there's so many tickets I have to scroll through just to like see stuff. 27,000 to 56,000 in like a month. It went up like what, 20,000 people in 3 days. It's pretty crazy. And again, as most of you guys know, Discord is like a fraction of our player base right now. It is literally a fraction because a lot of people don't have Discord or they just don't care to join Discords. It is a fraction of the players right now.
Fraction.
Thanks for your hard work. Yeah, thank you.
27,000 plays agora no Discord.
Okay, sorry, I'm scrolling through. You're assuming there's adults here. Our average age, I think, right now is like 26 or 27. It is older for sure. But I know what you're more meaning. I think you're referring to like behave as an adult, I guess. Listen, I make video games for a living, okay? I'm not an adult either, okay? I roleplay as one in real life, but what is under the desk? I mean, not really anything, but I do have like a cushion for my feet because to keep like good posture so that my feet are like, or my knees are like proper. I thought one of my dogs was in here, but they're not. So I thought like you saw them or something. I don't know why you would be able to see my dog on my desk. I don't know why I thought that for a second, but they are not in here. Please do something like mouse over spells for like in WoW. It is on our to-do list. We absolutely want to. Yeah, absolutely. Again, guys, you guys who have been here since open beta and past betas and alphas, you guys know how quickly we implement quality of life, new content, develop in general. You guys have seen it. Expect that as soon as servers are under control. Expect like boom, 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 bunch of things coming in every week. Expect that. If there's something about the game right now, you're like, I wish we had this, doesn't feel great. We are listening. We have a huge list that we want to do, and we work really hard. So if there's something that you're like, I love the game, but I don't know if I could continue if like hotkey remapping wasn't in the game, it'll come. I promise. Hotkey remapping is one of our top things on our list right now. It will come. We already have all the UI done for it. We just need to implement it now. Hotkey remapping, house changing, community land improvements, marketplace lag fixes. These are all like main priorities for us guys.
Hora das promessas.
Also, we will be releasing a roadmap soon of like all the major stuff coming. Obviously, no one is even close to endgame, but we will have more endgame stuff dropping as well. We will release that roadmap soon. We just have to get everything else under control. Also, so many people have been asking like, how can we support more? There's not a lot of stuff that we really want to buy in the shop, and the shop is very empty. We appreciate that so much. Right now, our focus first is we want to get shit under control. Then we will figure that out to have things that you guys want to get. By the way, that means like cosmetics and shit. That doesn't mean like, yeah, whatever else you guys want to run off with your mind on. But right now our focus is like, obviously our art team is working on stuff and they made some amazing stuff, but we don't want to be like dropping stuff like that when we're focusing on getting service stability. It just doesn't feel right to us. So I just want you guys to understand that. I know a lot of the game studios, they will just throw monetization in constantly because they have that in their plan. We made sure like that is our first focus. We're not here to monetize more. But we understand there's not a ton in the shop that people really care to buy. And you know, we get that message a lot like, hey, I would love to support you guys more than $8 a month. And we really appreciate it. That means a lot. And hopefully we will have stuff that you really care about. You should really make the Reddit alive, not only just we will. We're setting up like mods there and stuff like that. We just have so much stuff to handle right now that like again, just the tickets alone, we will absolutely open up that Reddit as soon as we can, and we will promote it and we'll put it on our website and all that kind of stuff. We originally just were pushing people to the forums and Discord because we do really like those two routes. But obviously with how many people we have, like the Reddit would be exploding. We will open up that Reddit soon. So just sit tight, guys. Let us just set up the mod structure there. Make sure that we're tackling stuff.
Reddit, canais pra comunidade tem muito.
Yeah, Neil, sorry, I mentioned it.
Vamos ver o que temos agora. Falta 1 hora para acabar a manutenção. Segundo eles, iam acabar 12 horas.
Do you think being behind the scenes of MMORPGs, now that you've grown up, demystified devs or publisher jobs, can you expand what you mean by that, Puppy? I'll try to look for your comment again. Because I think that's a kind of cool question.
Cool question.
Will there be any pay-to-win features added now? We don't plan on it.
Sem plano. Spoiler.
Yeah, guys, we'll talk about a gift we have for you guys soon. Jesus Christ, 3,800 viewers across Twitch and YouTube. And I see a lot of streamers reacting, which by the way is like, you guys please react. I want creators to be able to just watch. We don't care about our ad revenue or any of that shit. However, what the hell? Why?
What the hell?
Juice us up. I'm just kidding. Hotkey remapping will be implemented. Yes. Just give us some time.
Ok. Remap bem. Ok. Repaginado. Implementado.
If Puppy sends another message, or if you're busy, ask Dharma to, just so I don't miss it, because the chat is just flying. I don't know how to like highlight one person. I'm not Twitch savvy enough. I know there's a way, but if he sends a message, maybe you know how to highlight or something. Will the team be looking to add a full soundtrack game? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it is a priority of ours. You know what? Let me actually ping our composer right now. Marcus Glitchy, is there an update fixing that? We hope that the update today has improvements for that. If not, we will continue to make improvements. I promise. We won't rest, guys, until these things are solved. It's not, you know. By the way, guys, the chat is flying. I'm sorry, I'm missing 90% of questions.
Any questions?
Also, thank you guys that answer people in the chat. Like people ask questions and you know the answer to it. I appreciate that because then they get an answer and yeah.
Escolhendo a pergunta. Manda aí.
This game would kill a mobile dude. Yeah, we're very well aware. And we do have plans for mobile support in the future. Likely what that is like a mobile light support. So like you can work your land, marketplace, craft, stuff like that, and not like full on like grinding and stuff like that, because that is much harder to do. But that could happen. We never could have expected Ravendawn to explode as much as it has. It has been insane. It has been the most flattering thing ever. I literally think like I'm in a coma right now, because pretty much have not slept the last 3 nights. And again, no woe is me. It's opportunity. We're not upset about that. We're very excited that we haven't slept for 3 nights in our own way, if you know what I mean. We're tired of shit, but and probably grumpier than usual. I'm probably grumpier sometimes with people in Discord. So apologies for that, guys. Oh god, see now I forgot like my brain is actually mush right now.
Mais?
Sorry, I forgot the question.
Sorry.
Oh no. My brain is cooked. Do you plan on adding your game on Steam? We do. We already proved to be added on Steam. It might not come for a year though. We don't know. The reason why is Steam takes 30% of all revenue. And then the government, Canadian government, we have like a VAT comparable here. They take more right off the top before profits, or sorry, yeah, like they're not taking off profits like in the US. So we would be getting to the point that we're paying 36% of every dollar that comes in to Steam or straight up Canadian government before any like normal taxes get applied. This is a huge amount of money, guys, for an indie studio. This is enormous. Don't get me wrong. We understand that Steam provides huge exposure, and we know adding to Steam, we will probably add tens of thousands of players, and we will in the future. But when we already had a very big community and very big following, we didn't want to just put on Steam and that following that we've worked so hard to already build and cultivate over 4 years, that 30% right away goes to Steam. But we see Steam as a very good marketing opportunity in the future, and we will follow the same way that most MMORPGs do. This is what Albion Online did. This is what BDO did. The reason why these games decide to do that is because of that exact reason. They're like, hey, we already have an organic following. Let's self-publish, and then in the future we can also publish on Steam. Keep in mind that you can publish on Steam and connect straight to the game servers. So if you're like, oh, I would love to have it on Steam instead, you can, when we release on Steam, you can just download on Steam and play on there instead if you want.
Futuramente pode ser que vá para Steam, entendeu?
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Mas no momento não tem planos.
Sometimes like we all just sound like zombies. Like, you know, we're all anxious and trying to communicate as best as possible. Sometimes we're just zugging through. Any plans on adding dual arenas? 1v1, 2v2, 3v3? We actually do have dual arenas already. We removed it just for the time being. We removed it for launch. We will 100% bring those back. I've talked a lot extensively. My favorite thing to do in MMORPGs for years has always been WoW Arena. I'm a huge WoW Arena player. Every new season, or every new expansion, I know life WoW Arena.
New expansão
with our work. Yes, that is a huge goal for myself because I'm very passionate about Arena PvP.
Arena PvP, nova expansão.
Aether Stones, people complain about them getting stolen. That is intended.
However,
for PvE areas, we will likely change that so they can't be stolen.
PvP Arena, vamos lá. E o carrascozão. Estraçalhar os melee. E os arqueirinhos. Spellball. O que mais temos? Vamos de expansão, de arena.
Multi-glad, bitch. No. Well, technically, but...
Quando é que...
my peak was Gladiator and TBC. Classic TBC, to be clear. So the one where actually people knew how to play. And then also... Yeah. I was number 7 Mistweaver Monk in Dragonflight. I do have a screenshot somewhere. If you guys want to pick me on that, feel free to tag me in the Discord, and I will find that evidence because I sent it to my friends when I hit it. I was top 10 for like 2 weeks in the Mistweaver Monk in the world, Mistweaver Monk in the world during Dragonflight. This is so weird. I don't know why I'm fucking bragging. Someone asked what my peak rating was, so I wanted to share that. But I'm probably more proud of the TBC because when TBC Classic dropped, it was like all people that played for 10 years on a private server. So I was probably more proud of my achievements in TBC than I was in Dragonflight.
Falando da expansão do
I've
WoW.
played a lot of WoW Arena. It's the only thing I do in WoW. So I don't do PvE. I don't do any. I only do minimum battlegrounds. I'm an Arena player through and through. So.
Don't PVP, não PVP. Battleground.
I'm gonna drop the EU thing a bit more. Straw poll. Feel free to vote. BGs and arenas coming to Ravendawn confirmed. Yeah, that actually is confirmed.
Arábia confirmado. Arenas.
When game server comes up. Our ETA is 50 minutes from now. Assuming that there's no delays, and it might be earlier than that. Yesterday we had yesterday or the day before we had a maintenance that ended up being like 30 minutes earlier. Hell yeah, I literally PvE so I can PvP. Exact same as me. I will do whatever PvE crap I got to do. And I did it in like TBC, all those, like all the freaking raids you had to get your bis from. I did it. I hated it, but I did it. Yeah.
Caraca, 30 minutos para abrir os servidores.
Add Polish language in the game soon. It won't be soon. It's a lot of work, but we will. We do plan to do it. Went on Steam. I just talked about that about 10 minutes ago. Why EU? Why not Brazil server? For a couple reasons. One, the ping from a lot of parts of EU can be tougher at times to NA. The biggest reason though, guys, is OVH has server infrastructure in Europe. They don't in Brazil. Server infrastructure in Brazil is not only like 5 to 10 times more expensive. Like literally a $500 server is $2,500 a month. But in comparison, and there's ones that cost like $4,000-$5,000 a month. It is absurd, but the infrastructure is also really sketchy down there. It is way harder to do DDoS protection down there. The uptime is a lot more risky down there. It's very hard. It's not like opening up an EU server is very easy. Whereas my Aussie servers, we did actually get reached out to set up a partner in Southeast Asia because they believe the game would do really well in China. And they have like about 1 million player network that they feel confident that they could market to. So that might happen in the future, but that would be a ways away. That would not be tomorrow. That would not be next week. That would not be next month. Maybe in Chile, I don't know if they have server infrastructure down there. A lot of server providers in South America are really tough. Really tough. We looked into this a lot. Is the server located in Florida? Close to Florida, yes.
E lá, América do Sul realidade, parece.
The NA server runs pretty good for us, quote unquote Brazil. I mean, of course it does. Like for most, it's totally fine. And okay, guys, I'm gonna do the announcement today because it literally ties into this.
Brasil se mostra necessário. Brasil é mesmo like se mostra desnecessário. Servidor, isso é bom.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab the graphic. We got announcement.
Vamos ao anunciamentos.
Okay.
Anúncios.
I want to first say, guys, this is like a gift to our community.
Para a comunidade.
We had a global proxy system that worked amazing in open beta. In launch, about 5 to 10% of people were not able to connect to the game because of it. We had to disable it to allow them to connect. We assume this is because OVH was thinking that it was like DDoS or some shit like that, because it was so much traffic coming. Obviously in open beta, there was not as much traffic coming through the proxies, so they didn't blacklist it or whatever, right? And so we had to figure that out, and it will take us some time to figure out because we have other stuff that is really important. But we also understand some people went from 120 ping down to 80 ping. That takes the game from like, okay, I feel a little bit stuff. Now it feels like the server's in my back door or backyard. Oh God, my brain is mush.
120 pra 80 tá bom, né, mano? Diminuição de ping.
Went from like 200
Salve aí, Rafe.
Like really far away from the server.
Belezinha, cara.
This would be like South Brazil, like on the very bottom, or like Russia.
12 horas.
And went down to like 110.
12 horas voltam.
Super playable. And amazing.
Essa que vai ter servidor no Brasil, mano.
We had to disable that, and that sucks. And that's why a lot of people went from like, oh, I had like no lag in open beta or on the first few hours of launch, and I've had a lot more lag since. Or I just started playing yesterday, and why is it so laggy? That is a huge part of why. So as we fix that, guys, we have.
Ele tá começando a falar sobre o que vai ter no futuro.
I need to be super clear. They came to us wanting to do a referral partnership, okay? They wanted to pay us for every referral we send them. They were like, okay, we're going to give your user 7 days free of using Exit Lag, and you are going to get, actually, there's no NDA, so I can share this, and I hope they're okay with me sharing this. I think they are. I think this is, like, there's no NDA, it's public. They wanted to give us 20% of every sign up, and we responded very clearly, no, we don't want any referral money. What we want is we want 30 days for our community. And obviously I think, you know, they were okay with that because it means they don't have to pay us anything. And I want you guys to understand, we are not getting paid a single dollar by them. We are not getting any referral money by them. We are getting nothing from them, even though God offered it. All we want is them to offer as much to you guys as possible for free. And so starting today,
Starta hoje.
For the next 30 days.
A parceria com este lag, cara.
You can use Exit Lag to connect to Ravendawn for free. You know,
eu quero.
You can download the software, find Ravendawn in there, and it is fully free. You do not need to pay $1. Exit Lag will improve a ton of people's ping, okay? For some of you guys, this will drop your ping by like up to 50%, okay? I need to be super clear. We are not paid by them in any way to talk about this. I'm pitching this because I know it'll improve it for a lot of you guys, and we worked really hard to get 30 days free for everybody. Lower ping software is fake news. That is
30 dias free para todo mundo.
That is absurd that you would say that, and it shows a lot of naivety. For some people, it doesn't cause improvements. That is true. But to say that it is not real is not true, because we had a global proxy network that was built out pretty much how Exit Lag works, and you can see how many people went from not feeling any lag to feeling lag. That is the most ridiculous thing I've heard. That's totally fine. For some people, it won't improve their lag. For 90%, it'll probably improve their lag by a lot. Again, guys, this is fully free. We are not getting paid $1 by them. We are not asking for any referral money from them or anything. We literally just made an agreement that everybody in our community gets it 30 days for free to play Ravendawn with it. After that 30 days,
não, mano, 30 dias pra todo mundo grátis, velho. Aí depois tu vai pagar
If you do,
uma mensalidade ali.
20 days from now to cancel it, whatever. I don't know how their system works. Again, we're not endorsing using them specifically, other than for this trial. And but again, I know a lot of you guys will be like, oh, no, this software is awesome. And that's great. We obviously wish the most success to them, because it's awesome that we were able to arrange an agreement with them, right? Like, we're super excited about that. And so,
eu tô no primeiro server, no...
I used to play Korean MMOs, and I found it was awesome. But I need to be
Argion.
That our global proxy network will be up well before this 30 days, okay? That is our goal. So the goal is that this is a temporary solution for you guys. It'll hopefully reduce your lag a lot, especially if you're from the EU or NA, South America. Please, I encourage you to use this and try it. And also, if you're having connection issues to the game in general, it usually provides some help to that as well. But we plan to have our free solution, guys, up well before this trial ends. Okay. Again, it is 30 days. If you care about your public, you pay for an SA server, even though it's more expensive. If you listen to me, I said it was not just about the cost. Cost is, we would obviously pay the cost. Their infrastructure in South America is very, very unreliable unless you set up your own infrastructure. And maybe we will do that in the future. But please don't say if you cared about your public, as I literally just talk about how we're giving up literally tens of thousands of dollars, if not more than that, sharing exit lag for free with everybody. And negotiating instead of a 7-day free trial for you guys and us getting 20% referral revenue, us getting 30 days and giving up any payment from them, any referral, anything. Please don't do that. A lot of studios would be happy to take an endorsement from them and collect that cash.
Pô, tá bom, ele diz que se faz necessário um servidor no Brasil e que futuramente está trabalhando nisso e tal. E que agora tem o Steam Lag para resolver provisoriamente a parada do lag. Pra quem tá com lag. E tem 30 dias grátis. Isso é bom, cara.
And again, you probably have to still sign up, but you don't need to get a subscription. Okay, you can sign up, and it will be free to use to connect to Ravendawn until February 19th, and by then we expect to have the global proxy server. I assume some people are gonna be like, "Oh, this software is great. I'm gonna keep at it." And again, I think they're a great software. Obviously, I'm not like officially endorsing them, but I do hope they get some customers out of it because it's still great that they're providing this. But I also need you to understand that like we're not saying like go use their software for the rest of your life. That is not our intention here.
Pô, interação, pô. É o que todo mundo queria, mano. Todo mundo tá sofrendo com lag.
But my ping is too high. Yeah, so exactly kind of
serve mal otimizado, travando.
Check my ping in Ravendawn without.
Não pode subir uma escada que o multipack fica.
No, we don't have like a filter thing in game to check your ping right now. Thanks for giving me an MMO I've wanted to play for years. Yeah, of course, man. We're so taken aback. Despite being EU lag, it hasn't been bad, just occasional freeze. Yeah, no, I mean, for most, it's not, obviously. But some people have, like, really high expectations of, like, what their connection should be. And that's fair. I do, too, like, to be clear. I'm not poking fun at that. I do, too. And where some people are much just more chill about stuff like that. And that's amazing. You guys are special ones, and it means a lot. Thanks for responding to even the trolls. Yeah. Sometimes like it's fine. Like
was like
90% of the chat, 99% is just amazing. So
comentou também que vai vir a arena, cara, arena PVP.
Do you know how a game like Albion can have a nice ping for South American countries, even with an NA server? Yeah, probably the global proxy system that we talked about. Exit lag will do that for you. And then in the future, we will make sure it gets fixed so that it's built into the game. Because, yeah.
Que mais? Pô. Aqui tá respondendo todo mundo, tá? Todo mundo pra tiver dúvida com problemas, pra entrar no Discord, nos fóruns, eles respondem, ajeitam lá.
You guys already have plans for expansions?
Que vai, claro, diminuir a fila. Primeira expansão. Design tá trabalhando em sua primeira expansão. Já?
Are so complaining. Yeah, I mean people like to complain. We are in a day and age where people love to complain more than ever. And I mean the irony is I'm complaining about people complaining, so you know, it's fine. Great stream.
It's fine.
It would be great to have the game supported proper for widescreen. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I play on ultra wide. We will take a look at that. Just understand what our priorities are right now.
Ela entende não sei o que do ultra wide, do launch, mas tá resolvendo as prioridades agora. O que é as prioridades? Vamos ver, principalmente os server.
We do not use Tibia open source, so I cannot respond to that, obviously.
Óbvio. Bora. Que tem mais de anúncio aí.
Grow your team. looking at how the game is growing in popularity, 100%. If you are a pixel artist, if you are a C++ developer, if you are whatever, if you are actually, if you guys are like have community management support, and especially if you are Polish bilingual, so you speak English very fluently, and Polish, or Portuguese and very fluent in English, you can go to Tavern Light Games and apply for a position. Just apply like a general application, because I think there's only like a pixel artist thing open there. But if you guys are looking for a job, go ahead and apply. I can tell you, we have a billion things on the go. You might not get a response for a month or two. That is just the reality of it. We already are getting tons of applications, and we are probably gonna have a very busy month ahead. But please apply. We might be looking to grow the community management team here just because of how busy things have been and support stuff. And so...
Tá falando alguma coisa para aplicar nos idiomas e...
Also, guys, apparently
isso é
people
uma
are complaining that
votação.
we're doing a poll on EU server.
Cara.
Guys, I'm only putting this in the chat because people are asking about it, and I just like to see the reception.
Primeiro serve nos EUs,
please,
guys.
Like, I made it very clear that we right now do not have plans for an EU server. Jeez. I won't send the poll anymore because I don't want to get CMs dealing with people angry and shit. Like, it's just like... sometimes it's very frustrating that we can't just like have conversation without people complaining. But
no Brasil já é quase garantido
we will
já.
not send it anymore. We won't ask the community their input anymore. Don't take anything people say seriously. We do though have to a degree, right? Because if we just start ignoring people, we just become like every other game studio out there, right? Where we don't listen to the community, we ghost the community. Most big games don't even have their own Discords anymore because they just don't give a shit, or forums, because they just don't want to hear people crying. They don't want to hear people complaining. We are trying to do different, right? We're trying to do what we think is better, and we want to listen to the community. We want to engage with the community. And sometimes that means taking people seriously. And we try to brush it off. So, you know what? Completely scrap everything I said about that. We're not going to post any straw polls or anything. We won't
Inglês,
that level of communication on some things anymore.
Fazer aplicação, quem sabe fazer gerenciamento de comunidade. Pô, essa ideia é uma boa, Hilda.
We want this.
Eu já vi uns caras.
We want that instead. It's just Lena complaining. Like, as soon as we talked about it, people start spamming. We want SA servers. It's just not worth. Like, I can't ask one thing without other.
Ajuda demais, pô, porque o Discord, ó, quase que triplicou de pessoas.
I'm not bilingual, but I'm curious if you're expanding to expand general CM positions. I do have experience. You can still apply for sure if you're not bilingual. That's really fine. It's just, I will say, we definitely highly value
vai fazer a aplicação,
Portuguese or Polish, because
ser gerente manager da comunidade.
As well. Like right now, it's kind of like a third on each language. And so, yeah.
Naquela parte que ele falou é bilíngue, então é mais fácil.
No, I totally get that as well.
Sim.
We totally get that, but in the end of the day, like, we understand when it gets to kind of that point, and we just ban them. But at the same
ele falou
time,
que é um estúdio pequeno e tudo mais, que não tem os bilhões da Activision pra... tá certo.
Pass this thing or whatever. We do feel it's fine to respond to them. I'm multi-language. Where do I sign up?
Já basta os teus, né?
And go to the careers page and just do like a general application there. Again, we will probably not be responding to them for a while, so apologies. But because everyone's here, I feel like now's a good time to share that. How do we get Exelag free for 30 days? So you don't get Exelag free for 30 days. You get Exelag for free, or sorry, you can download Exelag and use it on Ravendawn for free for 30 days. So like,
ele falou que
allowing you to play all other games.
O Exelag é 30 dias grátis, não foi? Pelo que eu entendi. Os primeiros tu baixa lá, tem 30 dias grátis e depois tu vai pagar uma mensalidadezinha. Pra todo mundo, no caso, que baixar o Ravendawn. E que o servidor é quase uma realidade no Brasil. Entendi, se é uma realidade no futuro, se ele vai implementar mesmo de fato. Ele falou que os servidores é muito caro
The data is
Assim,
like,
não sei se ele falou que aqui é mais
I don't really
barato
do by
ou no
country very
estrangeiro é
well.
mais
I guess
barato.
more by
Mas
language.
tem uma disparidade de
so,
valor.
A few months ago, we were 9% as English or other. So basically anything other than Portuguese. It was 91% Portuguese. A few days ago, it was like a week ago or so.
Alguém tá voltando alguma coisa aí?
41% English and other. Now it is 56% English and other. So 44% of our player base.
A população do Brasil é em peso lá.
Then, probably roughly 44% Portuguese, probably roughly like 25%, or no, probably like 20% Polish, and then probably like roughly 30% English. I only have the breakdown of English and other and Portuguese, unfortunately. But there are, it is over half of players are, and this has been like rapidly changing as we've like garnered more of a population here around the world. It like every day it continues to grow, and obviously we have a shit ton more Brazilian players playing every day. But the pace of Polish and English and other European players is just massively rapidly growing. Here in Brazil, we have no ping. It's actually like better than no ping for Ravendawn. They're both great. The difference is Exit Lag is doing 30 days free for Ravendawn. So if you have no ping already, I'm sure it's great as well.
Os poloneses migraram do Tibia. Pior, eu acho que mais da metade migrou do Tibia, velho. Tá louco? Lá no fórum lá, o que mais os poloneses falam. Tibia, Ravendawn, Ravendawn e Tibia.
Ron was saying how many players are playing Ravendawn in 2 days. It's a lot more than 50k.
Pô. Acho que tem uma comunidade boa também. Pô. Mas do Brasil disparado, mano.
This game is really fun. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Of course, man.
Do Brasil aqui tem mais pessoas, mano. Jogam.
Will it be available for Mac? It is not natively available. However, you can play it with parallels. There's a lot.
Uma das maiores, pô.
Thank you for the 30 days of Exit Legs and a European. That's awesome. Yeah, of course. And like this is something that again we wanted to get.
Por isso merecemos server, se realmente
a gift or
ser primeiro
whatever
aqui.
You want to say. And that is why we declined to take any money from them, and just negotiated to get instead of 7 days, 30 days, which is like a lot of time. Yes, this is these are public Twitch numbers, Junjun, by the way, on the 500k unique viewers, and almost 1 million hours watched. This is public, so you can just go to any like tracker website and search Ravendawn, and you can see that.
Knight já tem, cara, uma parte da equipe dele considerável são brasileiros. Tem o Nels e outros mais lá. O Nels que tá sempre no Discord. Tem o Dharma também. Silva. Esse cara parte considerável é do Brasil. Da equipe. E vai entrar mais brasileiro.
Guys, every channel is essentially its own world. Right now,
Ravendawn é do Brasil.
Every channel we have has multiples more players than one of their worlds right now. Multiple. In some cases, 20 times. I applied for software developer. Cool. Thank you for your application.
Gosto.
I sent you a job. I think I've seen 100 people say I sent you a job application. Thank you so much, guys. Ravendawn has exploded. We will very likely grow the studio to make more content, do more updates, do more cool shit. So yes, thank you for your applications. And again, please have patience. We will be very busy probably for the next month. It will not be our priority to get to job applications right now. However, please know that in a month, 2 months, you might just get an email. Again, I know that's not good. Usually we respond in like 24 hours. So I know it's not. It's just because we're launching, right? I know you guys understand that, but.
Não sei se é o que eu tô pensando. Tinha um que era o da Canatus. Da Canatus, ou é da Canatus. Me falaram dele. Tipo MMO também. Mas eu ainda não vi vídeo e li nada sobre. Só vi o hypezinho, alguém falando de beta, alguma coisa.
Yes, we will be. just not yet, not priority right now. As we have a lot of new people in here, and we're approaching 4,000 people between both platforms, and thousands more watching on restreams right now. Our priority list, guys, right now, okay? So number one is server stability, login stability, marketplace lag. That is number one, and that is above everything by magnitudes. This is the top. Number two is a buff to community land, as well as adding houses to community land for anyone who doesn't get land. So if you don't think you're gonna get land, please don't panic. It is intentionally finite. It is an intentional system where not everybody will have land. Okay, that is intentional. You will have community land that behaves the exact same way, and it will be getting buffed so that it is much more comparable to small land, and you will also have a house on it. So please don't panic.
Dracanatos, né?
It just might mean you might not have a house.
Tô ligado nesse aí. Parece bom, cara.
The next thing below that, trying to think if there's, I'm probably getting in like areas where I make mistakes, and there's probably something higher, and I'm just not thinking of it because I'm very tired. The next thing after those two is probably hockey remapping.
Tinha outro também que era o Profano. Parecia bom também.
I'm just looking at our list.
Há tempos que vem falando desse jogo.
Broadcast as well.
MMO
so
também.
Like a server maintenance that it gets like pinned on like your screen somewhere in like the top corner, and you can like get rid of it. But just so everyone sees it, so right now we understand it goes away in like a few seconds, and it's very hard to see. Also, after the maintenance, guys, we will be dropping the titles, and everyone will be getting the 5 Raven packs, okay? That will be coming.
Tu disse câmera de cima também, né?
After the maintenance, we gotta monitor servers, make sure things are going chill and manage all that. But the goal is that we will tackle that when we get a chance afterwards. Okay? We needed to do the maintenance to allow for that because we had to add the title into the game, like into the client side of the game.
Bom. Ele disse que a prioridade é servidor.
This is something that we would love to do. We would love to just fully redo our whole queue system, and we will in the future. But right now, doing changes like that is a lot of work. It causes a lot of issues. And so we just don't have the time for that right now.
Dashzinho é bom, velho.
Likely will. Just bear with us, guys. We understand. It sucks waiting in the queue to go jump to play with your friends. Listen, again, we're MMORPG players too, guys. We never expected this amount of players, this amount of queue. Like it's just not something we ever expected. Again, we expected to be much bigger than our open beta. We kind of prepped for about 4 to 5 times bigger, but not like 20, 30, 40 times bigger, 50 times big. Yeah. Anyways, we did not expect that. And a lot of MMOs, their open betas have more, if not comparable numbers. Like New World had more players in their open beta than their launch. I'm almost positive of that. I hope I'm not wrong on that. But it definitely had more Twitch viewers. But please understand that like we expected growth. We did not expect this growth, but it is an opportunity for us. This is a huge blessing. We are so lucky. We are so fortunate. We believe we made an amazing game. We're so glad that a good game shines through in the end of the day, and that when there's a good game, people come. And we are so blessed. We are so thankful, but we just need time. We need time to improve things. And we will not rest until we do. And I literally mean not rest. I mean 2-3 hours of sleep a night until we do.
Então é isso. Prioridades e prioridades.
Can we get a minimap or map indicator for stairs, visible stairs? Possibly. The reason why we don't have it right now is because it kind of spoils caves a lot, which we don't really like. But we also understand why, Tibia players, for example, like it. Please rest. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the guys that are like, oh, dude, like go to sleep and stuff. I'm actually pretty efficient when I'm very tired. I don't know. And a lot of us are. Like we're not, we're zombies, but we are getting lots done. We will, or especially myself, because at the end of the day, the studio head and game director and stuff, like I will always make sure that I lead by example. I and many of us will rest once we feel that everyone is having a good experience, and that is primarily on server lag and stuff like that. That is when we'll rest, and that's when we'll have earned the rest, right? In the end of the day, we are proving ourselves as a studio. We're not gonna, we don't we don't want to, and we can't ride on past nostalgia and success that many big studios can do. We are going to earn every bit of it. Don't jeopardize your health just for us players. Take care of yourself. I really appreciate that. I look at it as I'm jeopardizing, a little bit of my health in a short period of time, it's worth the trade-off to me, I guess. It's worth the trade-off. Yeah, I've only been sleeping 3 hours and I'm addicted to the game. I think you've earned it. I appreciate that. I will say it's something different for me playing like an MMO for 21 hours a day. Like I can do that no problem when the launch happens. Working 21 hours a day and responding to thousands of people is way more draining.
Eles gostam mais de uma arte mais nostálgica e tal, falando do mapa intuitivo e que design dele
the team does need a little bit more time
desse jeito.
For the maintenance.
Eu não tenho.
We're not sure exactly how long yet. Yeah. We will need a little more time though. I'm gonna hang out with you guys that whole time though. Okay, I'm gonna sit here, answer questions, chat with you guys. Maybe I'm gonna tease some stuff too. Okay, you guys have earned a teaser or a few. I'm gonna tease some stuff about the late game, about things that you have to look forward to, because like that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna chat about the game. I'm gonna answer tons of questions. We're gonna tease stuff. You guys earned it. And I appreciate you guys being patient. I'll make sure that you guys are not
sejam pacientes, vamos responder todo mundo.
Too much. I understand that a lot of games just go kind of radio silent. As soon as I heard we were doing like a maintenance, I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna wake up. Like obviously I could just be sleeping right now, and I think a lot of people would while they are handling this. But I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be doing a live stream to entertain everybody and chat with everybody. Hey,
pois é, o cara joga direto.
Your profile picture is literally like a crying ghost.
Ele jogou 21 horas e tá de boa pra ele.
Begs to differ.
Com o mapa tipo que ele tem.
Oh, now his brain not melted yet.
Foi problema.
I'm slurring over a lot of words. But
tempo, ele fala com paixão.
Here, baby.
A gente percebe isso.
Facing the lions, right? I assume that's a phrase. We don't have that phrase in Canada.
Isso conecta mais nós com ele.
Like as in like if like the community is angry, I'm like facing them right now. Yeah, no, okay, yeah. And that is kind of how I looked at it. I was like, people are going to be bummed out that the server's down. I want to go and like just engage with them during that time.
E jogador de Tibia.
I want to like
Mmorpg,
play, and we get that.
A maioria o pessoal da equipe é jogador de Tibia.
I wish it was breakfast time when I was getting everything set up for the stream. Tavern Light Games based in Canada. It is based in Canada, but we are a global studio. We have staff in Brazil. We have staff in Europe and in North America.
Exato.
This is forced sleep for most people. Yeah, that's how we look at it too. When we had a 3-hour maintenance to set up the new world, was that yesterday or the day before? Days are just completely blended together for me. I saw a lot of streamers like, holy shit, okay, we get a 3-hour nap, like everyone's asleep, and they were all like back live already. My wife and I love your game. It's very enjoyable to play together. That's awesome to hear, man. That means so much to us. Also,
agora que o game lançou, o que não falta é criatividade para ele.
But someone in the open beta, actually there's a few examples of this. So if I get the details wrong, it might not be you specifically, so don't be like, oh no, he got the details wrong.
É bom saber que ele tá preocupado preocupado com a comunidade, como é que o jogo dele tá.
And they are actually going to be doing their wedding in game. I assume once the servers are unstable. But that is really cool to us. They were just saying like they don't have a ton of money for a wedding, and they just love the game and they want to do it in game. And I think that's the coolest thing ever. I saw that message and I was like, oh my God, please let me know when it is, any time of the day. Whether it's in the middle of the night, I will wake up.
Eu vou mentir, eu fiquei com raiva e fiquei orgulhoso da fila.
Things like that are really special to hear as game, right? Like people say they love the game and they love this.
Atraiu muitas e muitas pessoas. Eu fiquei com raiva também.
It fuels us. It keeps us going. It gets us excited.
Normal.
But things like that are like that little extra thing where it's like, holy shit, like that is just cool. That's very cool. Are they real or RPers? They are real. They have been together for quite a while, and am I invited to any? I don't know how they'll be doing that. I don't know if they'll invite like everybody. Maybe we can do something cool with that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it was really cool. It was a really cool thing. but I told them, I'm like, wait until things are stable. Let's chill. Chat is kind of clunky and could use some improvements. I totally agree.
Ele falou que ia dar presente, alguma coisa.
That is low on the priority list, though.
Veio falando ainda
No,
nada.
we could definitely improve it quite a bit.
Vai ser drop.
Will you guys be adding more music? We absolutely will. Wedding cosmetics, yeah. How many staff do you have in your studio? We have 40 full-time staff.
Adicionar mais música ao game.
Roughly, right?
Cosmetics.
Studio, 40 full. It does save. Some people are having an issue though when they reopen the game.
40 pessoas trabalhando.
We apologize for that.
Incansavelmente.
Yet it's a very small minority. It's like 1% of players, but it's it would be so annoying for me. So I get your frustration with it. Is a store
frustração.
Yeah, this was asked a lot earlier. We get this message so much right now, which is really nice, guys.
O cara tá frustrado
like, hey,
porque o game tem coin.
Like we spend $40 and that's everything that we would ever need. Are you gonna add more stuff? There's like, we will add some more cosmetics and stuff like that. But that's the current plan for now. We like obviously like we have stuff that we would like to add, but we just don't want to add any monetization while we're having server issues. It just doesn't feel right to us. So we appreciate those of you that do want to support us. That means so much to us, and it's really encouraging. And we will add kind of different, like more things, cosmetics, when we feel we've earned that. I want to buy outfits. Right now we don't have plans to sell any outfits. We really
comprar outfits, cara. Comprar.
We really
todo mundo quer outfits.
So that might change, but right now that is what we like.
Comprar outfit, vai adicionar alguns cosméticos e.
How do I invest in your company? Unfortunately, we do not sell any equity in the company. The reason for that, guys, is there's a reason why we don't have a publisher and why we don't have we haven't sold any equity or have any shareholders. The reason why is a lot of games get ruined by either of those. You have shareholders that you have a duty to, and they DM you every day to throw in every pay-to-win thing they've ever heard of from any game ever. And publishers usually just get that right to do that. And I've seen a lot of amazing games that people blame the developers. Meanwhile, it's a publisher. And to be fair, publishers will knock on your door and say, hey, we're going to give you $10 million to let us publish your game for the next year, but we control the monetization. A lot of developers or owners are like, oh my God, $10 million? Holy shit. And they
and
then the game gets completely
$10 million.
We have had almost daily offers.
Pra desenvolver
I turned everyone down. Every single time I get that email, I respond, thank you, we're not interested right now. It doesn't matter what number you say. We care more about Ravendawn than any amount of money we can make.
Estamos interessados agora.
And so I hope you guys understand that. And I'm not perfect. It is tempting. But we love this game, and we don't want to see a publisher come in and strip it down and monetize the shit out of it and stuff like that. That is just not what we want to see for this game.
Não sei se ele falou que é uma clube de $10 million. O que é ser, sei lá.
We also have like contractors we work with as well and stuff like that. So.
Olha ver contratos.
Top team, 11 out of 10. I appreciate that. And listen, we will do things that you guys don't like as well. Okay, like there will be times you guys are gonna be like, they suck or whatever. We know that time will come. It's just natural. It happens. But I hope you guys understand that it is always about the longevity of Ravendawn for us. Okay, whether that is we monetize something or we add something, it is always about the longevity for us. And we personally feel that us controlling monetization will always be better than us taking like a 10, 20, $30 million paycheck and letting someone else exploit the hell out of it. You know, we will always do what we think is right for the long term of the project, not just how we can make the most money. Obviously, otherwise we would have, there's a lot of things we could be monetizing right now. It's so frustrating seeing people like see Raven packs and like on Reddit and they don't even know the game and they're like Raven packs, LOL, they're like pay to win monetize. Like we don't sell them. We don't sell them in this store. I mean, technically they're in the store, but they're bought for Dawn Essence, which I'm paying. To be clear, guys, the reason why they're in the store is because coding wise, it's just way easier to implement it into a system that already does like a global, like not NPC based, like a global UI purchase checkout. It's just way easier to have it in there. Obviously, we probably will take it out and make it its own UI when we have time, because people like open up the store and like, oh, like you can buy, like where it's just for Dawn Essence, which is only obtained in game. We probably shot ourselves in the foot with that. We get that, and we'll change it. But at the time, it was just so much more efficient. So we're like, let's focus on that so we can work on other stuff.
Ele falou que implementou algumas
Gotcha Raven packs.
Alguns cosméticos.
We added Raven packs is because I have a huge background in TCGs and love TCGs, and I love the feeling of opening a pack. That's why
pouco de tudo no caso.
We love that feeling of like opening a pack. What cards did I get? Oh, cool artwork. And all that. I love that feeling.
Tudo não, de cada
but
coisa.
Obviously, when people see it in like a review like about Raven packs, they're like, oh my god, LOL, like pay to win gotcha packs. It's like, oh, it's like, please, like don't. That's so, you know. Please add a red warning explain this. We probably should. I love the Raven cards, really exciting. Yeah, it's fun. I love the mechanic too. But we understand that most people see it and instantly think that it's like a gotcha system, right?
Mecânica de Raven packs, da Essence.
More than just a game. Yeah. We're in talks. One thing on merch, guys.
Mais justa dos games.
It would be so important to us that the quality is incredibly high. A lot of companies work with whatever the best offer is, whatever they get the best cut of, and they just print shit. If we do it, it will take time, because we will go and make sure we find the best manufacturers, the best company to work with, everything like that, to make sure that it is a very high quality product. If we do sell anything, and likely, guys, truth is, we would almost guaranteed do it for no profit. We would likely get the highest quality, which will probably be expensive, and literally just cover the costs involved, like shipping, manufacturing, stuff like that, to ensure that we can sell like really high quality, like mouse pads, t-shirts, whatever we have. Maybe we have headphones or mice or something like that. But at the lowest price. For us, we would look at it as like, this is how we expand our brand. This is how we share with the world, not how we find another way to monetize. I hope you guys have seen us do that now. We just did that with Exit Lag. Obviously, we could have made a ton of money off that. I'm not going to lie. We could make a lot of money off that. But we just want the best for the community. And again, at times, we're going to do something you're not going to like.
Tá falando das coisas que podem se monetizar, no caso.
Also see that when we get offered quick checkouts for cash, that's not our goal. That's not our motive. And not something we do. Because otherwise we would have done it by now. Like most companies do. What's your favorite TCG that isn't Magic? That isn't Magic. That's so playing wise, Magic is the only one that I'm like, this is like a game that I love playing. Collecting wise is definitely Pokemon. I have a lot of like vintage stuff. Most of you guys know. I have like a first edition sealed Jungle Booster box. I have like
favorito o que
first
mesmo?
edition cards just from over the years. Now they're worth a fortune, which is sick. But I just love them. They're something I would never sell, unless I need to finance things for Ravendawn, which we are fine. But that would be the only time I would ever do that. But they're very special to me. But in terms of playing, Magic's the only one that I like love playing. Like I've played Pokemon, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, I've played all of them. Magic's the only one that just like feels like it's a really well designed game to play a lot. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, they feel like more niche. Like you have to like really like the way that game kind of plays out. Like Yu-Gi-Oh playing like a 30-minute turn. You gotta really like that. Or Pokemon, which is like very niche meta. And to be clear, I only play limited format Magic. I do not play Constructed. I hate Constructed. I think Constructed is dumb. I only play limited, but I
tipo, no que o Raven Pack foi inspirado?
Será? I love drafting. Sorry, but in terms of like collecting, more broad question, Pokemon's tons of fun to collect like vintage stuff. I don't like buy new booster packs. I just don't care too much for it. Love collecting old stuff. However, me and my significant other, we have been buying some Lorcana stuff lately just to open for kind of fun and play the game. The game's actually pretty fun. It's really simple, which is nice, and very quick. But the nostalgia from the cards is very fun because it's all like stuff from
nostalgia in cards.
And the cards, the art is actually really, really cool. Not officially endorsed by Lorcana. However, if you guys want to send me free shit, I'll happily take it. I will do a personal endorsement for it. No, but they're really fun to open, and the card art is actually really cool. So we've bought some of that stuff and just been opening it.
É cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
É engraçado.
Bandit plushie. Ooh, don't spoil. Don't spoil.
Não spoil. Bandit plushie.
Oh, God. It means a lot in the MMO world nowadays. Yeah, I really appreciate that. That is what we're going for. We are a studio filled with MMORPG veterans. And while most studios will say that,
o cara acertou o caminho pelo visto.
They will not back that up. Like they will sell $400 packs and FOMO the shit out of the community every month with new $400 packs. I'm sure everyone knows who I'm talking about. While also saying, "Oh, we're gamers first" and all that kind of stuff.
Caralho. 400 novas cartas, será?
Things a little different. You said you tease me. I will. Chill. Okay, we got to build up the suspense a little. Will there be a mailing system or guild storage? We plan for guild storage 100%, guild banks and guild silver.
Novo sistema.
And we also plan for some player-to-player stuff as well. Create a Ravendawn TCG. You got the card art already? Little spoiler here, guys. I'm happy to share this now. We have been reached out to create a Ravendawn TCG with our Ravendawn cards. Obviously, we have all of it pretty much done. We would just need the design of the game mechanics, which they want to do for us. We've also been reached out by a tabletop company to make a Ravendawn RPG based on D&D 5th edition rule set. I believe it was 5th edition. Yeah, pretty sure 5th edition. We have been reached out to on both these. These would not be things that would come next month, probably not in the next year. But we have been reached out to on both of these things, and maybe they will come in the future.
Próximo ano, RPG de cartas, cara. TGC de Heaven Pack das cartas. Talvez no próximo ano saia. Cara, será que vai ser um jogo à parte ou um jogo dentro de Ravendawn? Mini-jogo.
Am I going to be left out of major content of not being in groups? No, absolutely not. There is like some content that does require groups to some degree, but it is generally optional. And like it's not like raiding and WoW where you essentially have to go through it. And we will have kind of like mercenary systems as well if you don't like playing in a guild. To be clear, guys, some people get concerned like, oh my god, is that gonna make being in a guild worse? Because I know that happened in like New World and a couple other games. No, we will make sure the mercenary system is not just net objectively, like people are not going to want to leave guilds to be mercenaries, but we will make sure that people also, if they are not in a guild, that they can partake in certain things.
Pô, eu quero resetar minha reputação. Minha reputação tá cagada, pô. Caguei a minha. Pô.
Sorry if you answered already, but how do you plan to expand the game and not make life skill things obsolete and economy breaking? We actually talked about that in our 1.0.0 patch notes on our website. You can go to the news section and read about it. But that is essentially why we added Dawn Essence into the game and made breaking down equipment into Dawn Essence. It is essentially to make sure that the economy has always a strong floor and stabilizer. Because people are always going to want that goddamn Dawn Essence to get those juicy Raven cards. So if you are a crafter, do not panic. You will always have a floor for your equipment that you can break down or you can sell to be broken down, because people are going to want, especially later in the game, guys, people are going to want cards and to upgrade their cards.
Caraca. Dizem que vai sair 1.1, será? Pack notes.
You guys know he's on Twitch right now. He can't see your comments. Haha, YouTube commenter. I can. I'm using Restream, so I can see both chats. But I'm just missing a ton of questions. It's obviously weirder in the YouTube chat.
Não sei se tu percebeste.
A 30th audience
pelo
in there,
menos para mim o game não tá fluindo.
And so you guys probably see like a comment that doesn't get answered for minutes. And it's like, why has he not responded? It's because the chat's flying between both. Twitch chat's obviously most. But I see both chats. So I'm watching.
Sim, tá travado, pô, tá travado.
Absolutely love the game.
Essa manutenção é justamente para otimizar essa parte aí. É a prioridade deles no caso. Otimizar o servidor.
We already have 6 tiers for every outfit. We will have more.
Isso é resultado justamente de ter muita gente no mesmo servidor e
Hammer
Tá carregado de ping.
dual axes, dual wield swords, dual wield maces. We got all the cool stuff.
Eu subo uma escada e eu fico travado lá e o bicho me mata. Às vezes tu tá andando, topa numa alguma coisa e fica grudado, assim. Aí justamente essa manutenção de hoje é pra eles arrumarem isso. Né? E espero que dê certo. Pô. Tá fluidozinho o jogo, mas a tendência do jogo é só ficar mais redondinho, fluidozão, otimizado.
Free or VIP skins? I'm talking about free skins. Right now, all of our outfits,
VIP skins
outfits are only obtained in game. We don't sell them. We could sell a metric shit ton of them, but we, or especially I, come from a time
outfits para obter no game.
RPGs was working for how cool you look in the character or in the game. And I want to keep that right now. Maybe one day change it.
Memoráveis RPG.
Change it at all.
Oh
my god, I wake up and see
seu look em personagem.
Apologies, man. Sometimes maintenance have delays. I'm here with you. I'm sitting here with you. I'm gonna tease some more stuff. I've obviously teased a few things. But I'm here chatting, entertaining you guys, doing whatever I can. So.
Mano, outfits cosméticos, por favor. Era muito play to win.
I do love the card system, but are you going to add more than 2 options per skill for a variety?
Card system?
So right now, I mean, look at how many skills there are. We have 2 options for every skill. This is a shit ton of work already, guys. We will definitely have more though in the future. Like we will have more cards. We will have more variety for skills. We'll also have new skills coming out. We have legacy skills. We have, actually right now they won't have cards. That's the plan at least. But we will have, I'm sure, a new set in the future.
Legacy Skill vai ter. No futuro tem a Legacy Skill lá pelo level 75 por aí.
Again, I know this stuff is special to the community, and I like to think, what do other game directors not do that I can do? And this is one of those things. The amount of times that people will tag me and be like, hey, are you like a mod or are you like player support or something? One person like DMing saying like, man, you're like the most active mod I've ever seen before. And I'm like, I'm actually like the CEO and game director, but I'm also just always awake, and I'm in voice chat with the staff, like talking all day and then typing all day to you guys. So I'm trying to like do both constantly, where a lot of people would just be kind of like, laying back in their chair, talking or whatever. I'm min-maxing everything every minute I'm awake. And then the 2-3 hours of sleep, I am an absolute comatose until that alarm goes off. And then we hop in stream, baby. We hop in here and we chat. Open, I don't know what to do with my life. Listen, I don't either. Okay, I'm sitting here in absolute distress too.
Muito desestressante que Iago falou aí do não sei o que.
Listen, the get a job thing. Okay, I get it. It's funny. To other community members, not to me, but people saying that to their community members. Like, like I want to play, or like whatever. Guys, a lot of people just took time off work. It's kind of a weird insult. I would say in our demographic of player, which is quite mature, it's like 26 is like the average age, or 27. 99% of people that are playing a lot do have jobs. They just probably took time off work. A lot of people took time off work. So just so you guys understand, like I'm saying like get a job, it's just kind of weird because like they probably do have a job. They probably just took a few days off work. So yeah, keep in mind, guys, like if
27 para 99 subiu
off, they're taking 4
mais
days
que o
off
triplo.
work. Most people have that in just sick days. So
subiu mais que o triplo, pô. A equipe tá crescendo.
3 days off. I took vacation time. So yeah.
A equipe ia crescer mais ainda.
If I pay for patron, will I get the past patron rewards from previous levels? You do not. You will get it for future levels.
Pay
But
Patreon.
every time you go past that level bracket, you will not get those rewards if you get patron after. There are many reasons for this, guys. A big part of it is for preventing botting. A lot of these things, I don't like to share why. And it's like, people are like, oh, that's dumb. I don't like that. And it's like, I get that. There's a lot of reasons for it. A lot of people are saying like, why do we get a queue when trying to play with a friend? Like, why do you hate people want to play with friends? yeah, guys, we went into the MMORPG genre because we hate people playing with their friends. That's why we got into this line of work. No, so the reason why, guys, is because we have all our servers at very max capacity so that people are not in massive queues. With that, if we allowed you to just switch to whatever channel and not go in a queue, what could easily happen is 1,000 people could say, hey, I'm going to all go to this one channel right now that is at max capacity, and I'm going to make it crash. Or 10,000 people go to a channel. Obviously, we
10.000 pessoas no canal.
To queue because it can completely trash a server. There's obviously some things we can do like what other games do where they say, okay, the max capacity is 3,000. We're going to allow it in 2,700 or 2,500 and 500 people will be like that room for that, right? So people can move over. But if those servers also hit their queue, or if they hit that amount, they would also have a queue for it. They just don't show that. People seem to not understand how servers work, and they just think like they're like, oh, Lost Ark did it. No, they don't. They just hide it really well. And again, to understand, we can do that, but that means that we have to drop the max capacity on every channel down, which right now we don't want to do because we want to allow as many people in as possible, even if that means some people have to wait in a queue to play with their friend. We understand it sucks, but it is like, what is the lesser of two poisons? Okay, we either keep thousands of people out that can't then are in queue and can't log in, or we just say some people have to wait in a queue to jump over with their friend. That is the reality of it. We have to pick our poison sometimes. And so that is our poison, and it sucks. But I promise you guys, as the queue amounts drop down and we have certain optimizations and improvements, you will not have that anymore. This is not something that will be around forever where you always have to wait in the queue to play with a friend. But it is the lesser of two evils.
Pô, mas o melhor seria quando a gente entrasse no jogo, a gente escolhesse já o canal que a gente queria, entendeu? Porque, tipo, não sei qual é essa tradução, a atualização de agora. Porque se a gente mudasse de canal, pegava fila também, entendeu? Não era instantâneo. Então, a gente quer, se o jogo é pra jogar, pra ser divertido, pra jogar com os amigos, é bom que a gente escolha o canal. Ou que acabe as filas, pra mudar de canal e não ter fila. Já que quando você entra num canal, teoricamente aquele canal ali vai ser até o final até quando você fecha o jogo, se você vai ser o seu canal, entendeu?
Oh yeah, like explain stuff. Like sometimes I like to try and explain stuff like I am right now, right? Because there's a big enough audience. But when people tag me and say you're a fucking idiot and a clown, why don't you allow me to play my friend without a queue? Worst design ever. Obviously, I'm not going to type up 3 paragraphs explaining it, and I just have to ignore it. But those, it's always frustrating because it's like, I just can't imagine like going into like electrician's work environment and saying like they're an idiot when I've never done anything electrical before. Just because like I see them move one wire to the other wire and it's like, oh, that doesn't work. I just can't imagine being like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Like, whoa, like what kind of ego do I have to do that? I have no idea what he does. And I think when you're online though, people love to be that alpha omega Chad and say other people are idiots. It gives them that power feeling. And they really need that in their life, right? And we understand that. Usually when we see messages like that, we know those people they need that moment for themselves to get through the day. And so we kind of that's why we kind of just allow it to a degree too, because we know if they don't have that moment, if they don't have that moment, they might have a hard time getting through that day. So IP ban the assholes, we do ban a lot of them, but usually we allow people to have that level event because again,
abrindo o coração agora.
Generally, I do believe that some people need that cathartic moment to think that they know better than other people, because they probably don't, and so they need to feel that.
É isso aí. 12:08. Essa manutenção foi prorrogada ou já acabou? Cara, essa última parte teve grandes... cheio de informação, cara.
Jesus Christ, that is a message.
Jesus.
Doing great work. Keep up positive vibe. Yeah, and we try. Like, guys, like, I'll be honest, like, our staff channels are very stressed right now, right? We get into little spats here and there, and that comes with it. And I told the team and most of the team understood this going in. Like we knew going in, like, hey, it's gonna be a stressful time. We're gonna get angry at each other at times. We're gonna be tired. We're gonna be frustrated. And it can be really hard sometimes to communicate between the community and developers and stuff, because as many of you guys know, oftentimes very good programmers are very quiet people and don't communicate very well. And it can be tough sometimes when we're trying to inform the community on something and we just don't have really clear answers, right? And sometimes they don't even have a clear answer yet, right? They need time for that clear answer. And so, sometimes we run into that, but that's sometimes part of a busy work environment, right? Is that's going to happen. So we try to keep the vibes good. Obviously, like we are suffering from impossible success that we never could have hoped for. And that is a good thing to suffer from, but we also understand this is an opportunity that we are trying our best to live up to as well. Because
Live up. Vai ser oportunidade.
1 hour, 2 hour, now 3 hour. We said 2 hours. We have now extended it for an hour. I apologize. Please don't. Yeah, be moving stuff.
Okay. Or 2, não sei o que, 3 horas.
If you want, we can just boot up the servers and have everything not work if that is preferred. But I think most people would rather wait and have the game work. But I can tell them just to boot shit up right now and everyone log in and their characters roll back and shit if you prefer.
Roll back?
This is the best community manager I've ever seen in the MMOR community. I hand in hand agree. I tell him this all the time. I know he knows it. He's a special dude. And so are a lot of the people in our company, to be clear. I'm mentioning him because he was commented. But like most of our community management team, some of them work in the background. Me and Neos are more like front facing. A lot of them are just grinding away at tickets, online tickets, social messages. A lot of them are going crazy mode right now too. Working with creators, like everyone is working a lot. I would say Neos is always working a lot is probably the bigger thing, but everyone has stepped to the occasion.
Pois a comunidade dá ajuda. Vocês ajudam a comunidade. Olha o Nels aí.
Yeah, maintenance is taking longer, but I'm here chilling with you guys. Okay?
Nels há dias que não dorme.
Could be worse, okay? You could be all alone in Discord crying right now, tagging me 1,000 times a second.
Cuidamos do trabalho, beleza?
Guys, I'm gonna just go to the bathroom real quick. I've been live now for 2.5 hours. I just gotta go bathroom. I'll probably grab some more water, and then we will be back at this. And I'll tease some stuff because we have a lot of new people in here that are probably like, oh, what are like legacy skills and what is like the end game PvP and what are forts and what are fort wars and stuff like that. And how about we talk about that when I get back? So I'll be back.
Os fortes, o PVP, conteúdo ainda pra vir ainda. Ai, fãs, beber uma água. Pô, mano, o que estão falando aqui no Discord, cara? Windows mais, tanca bem sim. Alguém quer me dizer se tem alguma classe? Dondori da Planta Jesus. Que é Patron. Pô, espera no Discord aqui. Esse jogo já voltou, mano. Vou pagar o Patron agora, mas tem cada coisa aqui. Prêmio. Esperou de volta, quem sabe dizer. Cadê ele? Tá no caso. Ah, cara. E é isso, vários anúncios. Tô doido pra ver essa live já com close caption em português. Pô, tem que ver de novo. Destacar as partes mais importantes que teve. Pô, tem muita informação aqui, mano. A parte da monetização, dos servers. A parte que ele fala da comunidade é bem legal. O joguinho tem tudo pra ser um dos melhores, cara, MMORPG que já teve na história. Pô, o jogo tá muito bom, cara. Tá muito redondinho.
All right. Stop panicking. I'm back. Stop panicking. All right. I really hope you guys just keep adding cosmetics, etc., into the shop for money, so the company earns a lot. Yeah, this is kind of funny. Yesterday, someone in the Discord was like, I really hope you guys don't add anything but cosmetics. Only monetize cosmetics. And I tagged him and I said, what cosmetic do you currently have? And he said, oh, I don't have any cosmetics. And I'm like, okay, like you want us to only sell cosmetics. You don't have any cosmetics. Oh, okay. Okay. To be clear, we only have cosmetics. That is not the point of that. It is more just hilarious that most people that say that usually don't have a cosmetic, because they just don't want to have anything to spend any money on, and they don't care about cosmetics in the end of the day. But they like to ask for it because, yeah. But it's just hilarious. That is usually the case. Will you expand the cosmetics earned in game? Absolutely. Again, outfit cosmetics are only obtained in game.
Voltou não?
Definitely have more.
Não voltou não, Rafe, o jogo? Eu nem sei se foi prorrogado ou não. Pelo menos aqui no Discord não falou nada. Tem nenhum anúncio aqui não.
How many cosmetics do you have? Holy shit. What we have?
Ainda tá off ainda o game.
16 outfits, each with 12 cosmetics. Is that correct? Is it 18? I think.
16 outfits e 12 cosméticos.
And we'll have way more. Is it possible to sell the cosmetic tag materials? Yes, you can sell it on the marketplace. These are peer-to-peer. And when people have more silver, they will want this stuff. Obviously right now people are like, every little silver they have is going into their gear and stuff like that. Paulo, I think they've updated in the announcements. I believe they did, but
I believe Budapest.
Could you do a dev dive into a nice build for beginners? I'm not the person to ask. There are streamers that will probably do this. I know GGTS, if you speak Portuguese, he loves to do builds on his stream and he does a really cool job. In the end of the day though, in the future, we will add like build sharing to the wiki. But the game is so new and we had a huge balance patch for launch. Even the top players are still like watch Labosi play. He's changing his build all the time.
Falando dos players do streamers brasileiros.
Than 99% of players, right? Experiment, try stuff, you know? Yeah, did you run away to snort a line, mate? Give me some better than coffee and Red Bull. Oh man, I'd be tempted if it was here. Without tiring.
Vai colocar um link da live direto para o wiki para mostrar
my nose has been stuffed
a build.
Days. That's why I keep
quem tá fazendo live.
I did not just do a line.
Tá bom, né?
Yeah, it would be terrifying to do in Canada because we have a huge fentanyl problem. A lot of people overdose on it. I play football with two guys and their younger brother. His first time ever trying cocaine was at a wedding, and he overdosed off fentanyl because it was laced and died. It's a huge problem in Canada, so I would never touch it in Canada. However, you can go to some places. Wait, you cannot talk about that on Twitch. Just kidding. No, do not touch that stuff. Vaping though, I don't vape, but I think you're allowed to talk about vaping. Do not.
Não gosta de vape?
Try anything.
Cara, não usa vape.
Not good, guys. Not good.
Não usem vape.
Bro, what the fuck? Yeah, I didn't even like realize. Like I was like, oh yeah, there's like things you can't say on Twitch. And probably one of those is like even joking about like going to another country. Yeah, I don't even know if I can. Can you say the word? Will that get you in trouble? I don't know. It's crazy nowadays.
Okay.
I know I can't vape. I don't drive a Subaru Impreza. Dude, I know if I vape like one time, I would get hooked on it. I love cigars. I very rarely smoke them because I know like I love cigars. And I know if I do it more than like once every couple months, I will be smoking a cigar all the time. You can't say cocaine? Okay, I'm trusting you.
Se você sei cocaína, ok?
Yeah, seriously.
Porra, é essa,
If I was
doido?
PR trained, I wouldn't be doing a live stream, I'll tell you that much.
O que tá falando aí?
There's a big reason that most game directors don't do live streams, or if they do it, like there's another really big Mmorpg that does do live streams with their game director every once in a while. They are very scripted for a reason. They have their notes and they have their talking points and what they read through. They don't just sit and chat and answer questions. And how old is this game director? I am 32. There was a big forum, a Reddit thread that was about how I'm lying about being a Tibia veteran because I'm way too young to have ever played Tibia.
Veterano
Which was
Tibia.
hilarious. It was kind of flattering. I just have Steven Sharif, yeah. I just have I have a little bit of a baby face. Most people think I'm much younger because I grow terrible facial hair, so I always shave it. I wish I have a huge full head of hair. I still get my hair thinned when I go to the hairdresser, but it's because I can't grow anything for a beard. I think you get one or the other. You look 40. I appreciate that. It was always very hard to like talk to partners and stuff in like video meetings because they would always like look at me like I was a lot younger. Babyface for life. Yeah. My dad, even when he passed away at 62, he passed away very early, but he still looked very young. 32, too young to have played Tibia. What do you mean? Tibia's 25 years old.
32 anos jogando Tibia.
When it was like, shit, it was what, 5 point something? Or is Tibia 30 years old? How?
30 anos que é velho não.
27, yeah, sorry, it was 25 recently. So I was playing, what would that be? I was playing when it was 2 years old. So yeah, 25 years ago. No, sorry, I was 8. So 24 years ago.
25 anos? O cara
was 7.1 when I was 3 years old? That seems impossible. I was playing when there was the old giant spider. The old sprite for giant spiders and the old rotworm and all that stuff. It really only started in 2001, 2002. Yeah, that's 23 years ago. That's kind of, I guess, when I was playing, right? Roughly. But yeah.
Não sei se tá falando da idade dele, que começou a jogar Tibia.
The first online game I ever played. That's not true because I played StarCraft on BattleNet Tech. No, I think that was after.
Primeiro
Running into
PC.
the private server was my getaway to a coding career. Yeah, for a ton of people. That's where open source is awesome. It's really cool for that. A lot of people, that's how they got their feet wet.
Bora, o que tem mais aí de anúncio? Knight. Manda ver aí.
I have an idea. You should enter your top guild and top players on YouTube. That's a really cool idea, actually. We have a lot of creators watching right now and like YouTube channels and stuff. One of you guys watching, you should take that. That's a cool idea. We would maybe do that in the future when we had time. Because that is a cool idea. Thank you for sharing that. I'm a developer for 15 years plus because of Tibia. Yeah, it's very cool.
Vou pegar o meu almoço ali e volto já.
Tibia
Rapidinho.
always had a very big, like, open source outside Tibia community, whether it was involved in botting or development or whatever. There was always like a big community around it. What MMO has inspired you the most? Make Ravendawn. I've answered this a lot of times. Art perspective came from Tibia. Crafting system and life skilling, heavily inspired by BDO and Final Fantasy 14. Sorry, I'm just getting more developer messages. Combat mechanics, in many ways inspired by WoW. A lot was inspired by ArcAge. Our archetype system and our e-commerce or our world commerce system is inspired by ArcAge. Same with land. ArcAge inspired a lot. I loved ArcAge. It was of all MMORPGs, it's probably the one that I was the most hooked on and most addicted to. I think they did a million things wrong. And that was a big reason why we wanted to take some of their really cool systems and do it the right way. This game has huge Final Fantasy 14 vibes. Yeah, there's things that we love from that game. Bro, early ArcAge was the tits. It absolutely was. That is an example of a game ruined by publishers. I talked about it earlier. People blame the ArcAge team all the time. This is a game that was ruined by publishers. The owners always sold it to a new publisher when their publishing licenses were up for as quick checkouts as possible, as quick cash outs as possible. Because truth is, they probably got offered 50 mil for a publishing deal for a year. And they're like, hell yeah, 50 mil guaranteed in my pocket. Let's do it. And the publisher comes in and destroys the game. And keep in mind, destroying the game is not always just over monetizing. That can hurt a game. Many times they also strip the development team. They cut the development team from 100 down to 5 people to go into maintenance mode basically, and then strip monetize the shit of it. Look at games that haven't done that. That are also very pay to win. BDO, for example, incredibly pay to win game, just won MMO of the year last year, and it's been growing every year despite being very pay to win. Because the difference is they did not lay off half their team, 90% of their team. They are actively developing and growing the game with that money that they've brought in, instead of just taking it and sailing off and buying an island. That's the difference. Yeah.
Que tem a ver com a ilha?
It says about strollers. Where are they? Okay, that's fair. Is there a way I can play the trailer? Many of you guys have seen the trailer. There are some spells in the trailer that you guys are probably like,
algumas magias.
The icon for username and password aren't aligned, completely unplayable. I'm quitting. I respect that. I respect that decision. Some people have a certain expectation, and we missed it with you. And I respect your decision. Godspeed, brother. Yes. So in the trailer, there are certain Bobby's World. There are certain skills that you guys probably saw that. BDO is not even that pay to win. You can't get the best stuff in the game by pay to win. No, I totally agree. That it's not that pay to win. But I mean, to say it's not is also a little weird. To be clear, there's levels. Everyone has a different threshold of pay to win. I think virtually anything you sell in a store is pay to win. I think cosmetic systems are pay to win because technically you're paying to get something that other people cannot get. You are paying for something to win. Some people, their definition of pay to win is like unlimited swiping. You can swipe for $10,000 and get everything. Most people would say BDO system is totally fine because there's a limit to how much you can spend. And to be clear, I do think that's a really good system. I think they have a near perfect system where they monetize really effectively to grow their team, grow the project, and have grown for years and probably be around for many years to come. But at the same time, they reduce people from just being able to like whale out and swipe $1,000 a day because they have that limit. And I do think that's a really good system. What I'm saying is like, I think virtually anything you can spend money on is technically pay to win, even cosmetics. I think any way you monetize is pay to win, unless the only thing that I would say is not pay to win is doing a forced sub or a box price game. Reality is you cannot do that unless you have a huge marketing budget for an MMORPG. You need to have a huge marketing budget to be able to pull that off. And you need to be that Amazon Games type where they can just throw money at the wall and not care where it goes, or Blizzard or have a huge reputation behind
it.
Right?
Blizzard
can sell a new MMO because they have 30 years of reputation, right? For a new studio getting into MMORPGs, you can't do a forced sub and you can't do a sticker price game. But I would argue that virtually everything is pay to win. But I think there's levels of it. There's a
Para o novo estúdio,
who has no pay to win.
MMO.
What do you mean? Okay. Again, everyone has their own definitions of it, and that is totally fine. And like by my own definition, because I think anything you can spend money on is essentially pay to win.
Até do Guilds não é pay to win.
Cosmetics that don't give stats are no way pay to win. I disagree with that. I think that if you can buy something that somebody else has to play to get, you are paying to win something that they had to play to get. So again, I still disagree. But I do think that there are levels of pay to win that are acceptable in a game. I am happy to play a game like BDO. I am happy to play a game like Albion. I'm happy to play a game like RuneScape. I think they're amazing games. And I think the level that they do is totally acceptable and totally fine to fund their studio. My point is though, is that I think everyone has their own definition of what pay to win means. I think it includes cosmetics as well. I generally do. And I think that everyone has a threshold of what they think is acceptable and fair for a studio to monetize. And I think finding that threshold is what's important for a studio. And that's why I have no problem with RuneScape's monetization or Albion's monetization or even BDO's monetization. I love BDO, and I think I spent $50 in years on it. Actually, that's not true. Sorry. I did spend a lot more when it first launched because I actually just wanted to support the devs because I loved the game. I bought a bunch of cosmetics that I didn't even use, and that was before you could like list them on the marketplace. I wanted to support them. But my point is that you don't have to spend money in that game, even though it obviously does help. Obviously, it helps. Teasers, I'm sorry. Okay.
Pode dar uma explicação, Zona, sobre os cosméticos e monetização.
Probably some of the spells where you're like, whoa, what's that? Where is that big hammer coming from? Why is
Acho que alguns aí são
20 meteors? Why is that character turning into an archangel and healing everybody around them? These are legacy spells. Legacy spells will be added to the UI soon. They are obtained once you hit the soft cap. So once you hit 75, you hit a soft cap, and at that point, you still level much slower.
75.
And when you hit 76, 77, 78, during these levels, you unlock these legacy skills, which are very long cooldown.
Caraca, tá longe pra caramba.
I mean, I think they're 3 minutes each, so not like 15 minutes. But they're very long cooldown, very strong abilities. Like the wizardry one is literally spam dropping meteors in an AoE around you.
15 minutos de cooldown?
Yeah, I think I've shared about all of them. I can go through them all in my head. If I can remember them all.
Meteoro do Mago, não?
Actually, I have them all on my like if I can remember all the effects off my head. Because my brain's been a mush. Okay, I have actually the graphics for them, so now I'll remember. I just need to like visualize them. Spiritual. Wait, I haven't shared these, right?
Espiritual.
Can anyone confirm? Have I like when I share them? I mean, like I haven't talked about what they actually each do, right?
Pô, mano, 15 minutos de cooldown é foda, mano. Mas...
Oh, someone talking shit? Oh, he was talking
se matar
shit.
Todo mundo.
Why does a visual Ravendawn stream not have drops? Good question. I don't know. We clearly have not signed up for our own drop program. That is a huge L by us. Sorry. Have another creator open at the same time, okay? Or just watch on another creator's stream. But that makes me even more flattered that we have like 4K people here and you guys don't even get the goddamn drops. Okay, I have not shared them. Confirmed. I'm going to share them now. I'm going to share what they do. I'm not going to share exact data and every little thing because I don't want to pull that up because I'm lazy right now. But I'm going to share, actually I can drag them onto the screen. These are just, guys, by the way, these are like artist team renderings, so they're not some of them are actually probably outdated and stuff. These are just things that we dropped in the Discord to share, but I'm going to drop them on the stream as well so you guys can all see them. Okay, we're gonna go through them one at a time while I talk about them. First one, big mighty hammer by protection. It stuns targets in the middle of the hold on, let me move this so I can better see the chat while I talk.
Protect essa daí?
Do it.
Você que era do guerreiro.
Hammer drop. The targets in the middle, they get stunned and take a huge amount of damage. The people in the outer ring gets, again, all of these design things could change, guys. Maybe it doesn't stun when it's released. Maybe it doesn't slow when it's released. But this is what it currently is, okay? Chill, okay? Chill. If you're like, oh my God, that's too strong or that's too what, you know, okay. Big hammer drop stuns targets in the middle directly hit. Outer ring take damage as well, and they are slowed. Next one.
Olha agora.
Next one. God, sorry. Sometimes this is the shadow one. Essentially, you will.
Do shadow é maneira, doido.
You will temporarily disappear, striking multiple targets for a huge amount of damage.
Entendi, se ele mata.
And then you will reappear where you were. So it essentially is kind of like an iframe. You will not take damage during this time.
Ele foi em 3, mas matou 2.
Something as well as do a bunch of damage to multiple targets. The next one. This is, don't mind the outfit. It's using a protection outfit. This is a new outfit coming, by the way. Spoiler.
Esse daí é qual?
But
esse é o protection?
This is a holy spell. This spell essentially you turn into a floating angel for I think it's 8 seconds.
É do
right
holy.
Now, and you will.
Esse daí é do holy.
I think it's every 0.3 seconds heal a nearby friendly ally.
É pra curar?
A pretty big amount. Like it is a huge heal. And so it will. You can use it essentially to avoid things. Have a kind of get out of jail free card if you're getting absolutely dogpiled.
Cara, virou anjo, mano.
And it will heal everybody around you, and it also heals yourself to full during that time. So when you come back out, you'll have full health. So that is the Holy Legacy spell. Now, okay, wait, which one do we want next?
Bonito.
Spiritual. Do we want spiritual next? Do we want warfare next? Do we want witchcraft next? What do we want? Let's see what the most is. So we got wizardry, warfare, witchcraft.
Faltou os 3.
Okay. I see the most for wizardry right now. No, sorry, warfare. We are going to do warfare.
Wizard agora.
This is warfare.
Warfare. Da
this
corrente.
Is still early rendering though. It's done now, but again, some of these are from like
da hora, parece polvo,
velho. Right now. So this is from earlier in the process. This is
pega em todo mundo,
this
cara.
is the warfare legacy ability. Essentially, chains come out and they pull all the targets around you close to you with a huge slow, dealing damage. It is if you want all the attention on you, you are going to enjoy this ability.
É aquela do anjo do rolo foi pra curar.
Yeah. Next one.
Qual damage sua fé dava?
And then we're going to talk about
a do witchcraft deve ser bolada.
Upset with me. This is the witchcraft one. The witchcraft one. Essentially, crow. This is, by the way, this is short term. It's longer than this, but essentially crows will fly around you, applying damage over time to all targets around you. And I think it also vamps from them. And
entendi.
Slow.
Só fizeram, tipo, ampliar a skill que ele já tem, a habilidade.
Follow you, dealing damage to everything
Ele
around
tem a habilidade,
you, applying dots or vamping. I think it's a few of those things. Witchcraft is always kind of like that weird one where it does a lot of stuff. Swain, that was the inspiration. And you'll be a moving, walking annoyance to everybody around you.
Cara. Pô, Dot Vampiro é maneiro, mas não gostei da animação não, cara.
The Warfare one was heavily inspired by
acho que é a minha
Lost Ark,
a mais feia.
I didn't do spiritual yet. I gotta jump back. I got spiritual and wizardry still. Okay.
Escova
spiritual.
Corvo. Mano, esse daí é do Witchcraft é a mais feia. Essa daí é maneiraço.
Very early concept, guys. This was like in the work in progress. This is not the final version. The final version is done. Again, these are all done. They're coming into the game pretty quick here. But
o tamanho desse tornado,
this is a work in progress rendering. Basically, you turn into a huge cyclone, and for, I think it's 4 seconds, and you are like 50% faster, and targets around you get knocked up, and it also gives you a big shield when you come out of it. So it is more of like an escape / like CC ability. And you will do damage
Não é a versão final?
As well. So the idea is you turn into a cyclone, throw everybody up, do damage to them. And get
então essas 3 que ele tá mostrando não é a versão final.
This is perfect for my build. Holy shit. Hell yeah, brother. Okay.
Tomara que fica legal de
But I'm gonna wait 1 second
on
on wizardry.
Esse daí já tá no... Eu gostei do...
You saw in the trailer. But we're gonna talk about the archery one quick, guys. I do have some sad news. The archery one is programming based. So the ability itself, like the effect is we have like the effects, but just showing them doesn't really show anything because it requires the programming to make it function the way it is supposed to, unlike a lot of these other abilities. So I will explain the archery one. The archery one essentially, you will spawn a handful of Spirit Rangers, kind of like the Spirit Rangers ability, behind you, and they will
tá bem feitinho, pô. Eu gostei do tornado do...
Like a huge wave, an enormous wave barrage in front of you at the targets. It is a harder one to set up. Again, it's a huge wave, to be clear. But it is a little bit harder one to set up, but it pumps and it is sick because there will be a million arrows falling down, killing targets. It is really sick. You guys are going to like it a lot. It is going to take a little more setup, but we think that fits really well with archery because archery does have some setup abilities already, like Dawn Arrow and stuff like that. So get ready to absolutely rain down arrows on your enemies. And the last one, Wizardry. Most of you guys have seen it in the trailer already. Actually, I think there's even a clip of it in here. But we're going to show it in here because this also shows it. Sorry, this is actually really bad resolution. Shit. But you guys can see it better in the trailer. The Wizardry one there was in the middle.
Shadow.
It's also having some FPS issues. You can see it in the trailer way better, guys. But the Wizardry one, essentially what happens is you channel for, I think it's 6 seconds. And every like 0.3 seconds or even less, a meteor will drop down around you. And these are full damage meteors.
Até porque já tem bonequinho do lado.
It's a pretty small AoE. In this clip, it's when it was bigger. It's
bem observado,
to make sure it's more dense. But it is kind of like a setup ability as well, right? If you can get into that position to drop it down, you could absolutely delete somebody in the proper setup. But it is, you know, with a lot of these abilities, we wanted them to be really flattering to the archetype in general, and work well with it, but also bring something that uniquely fits to it as well. And Wizardry, what we wanted was a big AoE pumper that requires a setup. And so, yeah. That is the last archetype legacy spell. Again, to explain about legacy spells, guys, these will come very soon. We already have them done. We essentially just need to add them to the UI now at this point. They will come at the bottom of your archetype tree. These are for when you hit soft cap at 75. That's when you start unlocking these. Obviously there's no rush for us to get them in. But we want to get them in so people can just see them and be excited about them and say like, hey, this is waiting for me at soft cap. And we have a lot of stuff waiting for you guys at soft cap. Do you chose only one at 75? Yeah, so you will get one each time you gain a legacy level, you unlock one. So you will get more than one of these, to be clear. They will not be refundable though. Okay, just so you guys know, we just because of how finite they will be, you will unlock one, then you have to unlock the next one. You will not be able to like constantly switch between all of them, but eventually you will unlock all of them. To be clear, it will not require skill points either. Right, so you're not like losing something by having it. Just so you guys know. By the way, I haven't answered a ton of questions. People are like, "Why don't you answer my question?" I've been like talking about these the last 10 minutes, so I haven't answered a single question in that time. Do they share a cooldown? They do not share a cooldown either. So having three, like one for each archetype will be very strong. Are you planning to add more archetypes? Absolutely. We already have plans for our next archetypes, but they will not come in the near future. They will come in a bit. Guys. Some exciting news. And don't leave just yet because I want to share a couple more things with you guys, or just listen to me while you guys play. Can you guys guess what the exciting news is? We are booting up the servers. We will be booting them up like one channel at a time. What this means, guys, is the queue is going to be enormous because there'll only be a few channels open because we're opening them up one at a time. The reason why we do this is to stagger the saving. A lot of you guys yesterday were getting like disconnected on, especially Seraphine, when every 30 minutes when the world saved. This was because all the channels are booted up at the same time. So we are going to be staggering the boot up to avoid that. Okay. What that means is if you try and connect immediately, you might see like a 1,000-person queue or some shit. Please understand that we will be
opening them up every minute. We're
opening Seraphine first, one channel at a time. They're just checking final details. It's not up just yet, but they are like ready to go. They're just doing like final checks just to make sure everything's good to go, right? Better safe than sorry. This is the same nighter, Fluxaren, yes. And just so you guys know, they will be booting up one at a time. We hope to have like almost 40 channels up in the next half an hour.
40 canais. Aí, de 40 canais.
So we can chat a little bit more, but you guys can start trying to connect. Actually, if you guys are okay with not, like, you're probably not going to get in faster, guys. The truth is, as we open up channels, if you try and connect when there's only one channel open, you will get put in a big channel queue. If you try and connect when there's 10 channels open, you might not even get a queue. So trying to spam connect might actually work against you.
Vai ligar agora?
I'm not just like fucking with you. If you are fine with waiting for 5-10 minutes after the server's open, you might actually just not even get a queue because of it. So
que vai dar, que vai parar de cair a cada 30 minutos.
Keeps our login servers from getting spammed. So it's also nice for us.
Tá.
Anyways, they're doing final checks. Those will start getting booted up soon. Only can see server and characters can't connect. Yeah, again, they're not booted up just yet. But the maintenance is
que não quer calar, vai ter fila ou não vai? Claro que vai.
Sensible and wait, ridiculous.
Mas que não for aquela fila.
If I was you, I would not be listening to me.
5 a 10 minutos já vai estar tudo up.
Also, a lot of people have been asking, why can't they use a certain waypoint? This is because you don't have enough artifacts for that location. Higher level regions, you have to unlock the waypoints in some places by doing certain things. You can open up your artifact.
Pois é, não consigo pegar alguns waypoints.
And you can get those artifacts from different ways in that region. A lot of you guys don't even know what the artifact system is. One thing I keep telling you guys, if you guys are like below level 75, you just wait. There are so many things coming for you. We don't like to throw every system at, we already throw land, crafting, gathering, archetypes, raven cards, ships, wagons. We already throw MOAs. We throw all that at you already in like the first 20 levels of the game. So there's a lot of things like artifacts and cosmetics and stuff that you will see more and more as you progress through the game.
Level 20 já dá pra fazer bastante coisa já. Tudo quase.
Excited. If you're not like level 75 yet, there's lots waiting
for liberado
you.
Já.
More and more features and stuff that you guys are gonna be like, oh, this is cool. Or you'll hate it and then you can leave. You can leave. No, I'm just kidding. Don't leave.
Caraca.
Do you have any insight on enemy threat in the game? Mobs seem a bit skittish. Yeah, we will be improving the threat system in the future when we get a chance, especially as we add more kind of captivating late game PvE content. There obviously is already a ton of late game PvE content, but we want to add some more specific things. Some people have talked about them in here and asked about them. We cannot confirm or deny if we are adding any of these things about world bosses, dungeons, stuff like that. To be clear, I mean that when I say we cannot confirm or deny, but I can confirm that it is on our radar.
Cara, todo mundo quer dungeon, velho. Bosses únicos, boss global.
I'm gonna keep going until like kind of most people are online again, and then I will throw I guess huge host at somebody. That it is gonna be tricky because 30% of people watching right now are English, 40% are Brazil, 30% are other countries. So whoever I host, I apologize because you are going to get probably 60 to 70% of those people just disconnect immediately when they hear whatever language you speak, whether I host someone that is Portuguese or Polish or English. So apologies for that. But maybe some will stick around, but I'm sure you won't complain. Yeah. So since I still have a little bit of time here, let me quickly rapid fire this one out. Forts. Anyone looking and excited about late end game content, strongholds and forts will be coming soon as well. That is end game content as well, so we don't have it in the game yet. But it'll come well enough in time for when people start getting to that level. But look forward to instanced guild versus guild PvP. If you are not in a guild, don't worry, you will have a way to partake in this as well. And you will fight over the forts around the world, and obtain these forts. Every week they will be fought over again, and guilds will defend their forts, and other guilds will try to claim their forts. So get excited for that. It'll be a ton of fun. And strongholds are essentially like guild houses that guilds can bid over. And there are double the amount of guild houses as forts, or strongholds. Sorry. Strongholds are a lot smaller though. They're I think half the total tiles. Forts are huge. If anyone's seen the fort plots in the game, I think they're 900 tiles. They are huge. And forts are not just going to be like cosmetic. They will have other cool things. We've shared it a little bit. Weapon forging will come from forts. You will be able to forge your weapon to get a upgraded weapon skill. And you'll also be able to forge your armors. So you will get like a new weapon skill that is a little bit more epic. This is all, guys, waiting for you at late game. So if you are like, what is that, Cherry? What am I? Like, again, in the end of the day, we want to make a game that
ter forte é vantajoso pra caralho.
But we also want that end game feeling too, right? Like that, you know, legacy spells, forts, strongholds, weapon forging, world bosses, dungeons, you know, we want that as well.
Então ele confirmou que vai ter dungeon.
We get stuff out fast, we work hard. What is the highest level right now? I think it's 31.
Você está
I think it's the highest level
excitado?
right now. We just checked the data yesterday. I believe that's what it is right now.
Monte de coisa pra
I might
ver
be
ainda.
wrong, but it's very close to that. There's no one like 40 or something like that, just to be clear. And just so you guys know, leveling does slow down a lot.
Que
1
tem
to
o
20
level?
is decently quick. You're not supposed to get to max level by the end of the week. We're not World of Warcraft. We're not like a lot of MMOs. It is a journey. It is imagine classic WoW endgame. There's lots waiting for you there, guys. But enjoy the journey. Don't worry about it. Getting to 75 is not when the game starts. You will be doing a lot along the way, and there will be a lot of adventures for you to do along the way. So enjoy the process. Don't worry if you feel like you're leveling too slow. You're not. I promise. It's a new MMO. You're going at your pace. You're enjoying the world. I always say this. I'm a very competitive player in every game I play. Sometimes I wish I wasn't, because I just wish I would enjoy the journey more sometimes. The amount of MMOs I play, and I just go so hard, and I'm like leveling as fast as possible, and I get to the end game and I'm like, sweet, I'm there now, and I'm like, I wish I would have enjoyed it more. And I like look back and I'm like, oh, that was actually a really cool moment, or that was really cool too. And I'm like, I wish I would have just like enjoyed that more, you know? Even though endgame is usually very fun in MMOs too, but I kind of sometimes wish I enjoyed that journey more.
Bom, ele tá falando que o jogo só vai começar no level 75, então se o homem tá falando, falou vários conteúdos pra fazer e tudo
Both
mais.
worlds are online, guys. Restart your clients. You are good to go. Enjoy. Have fun, guys.
Eu vou fechar meu jogo, vou fechar meu jogo.
We are going to be doing an announcement for Exit Lag soon here, guys.
Deve ter um de patch aqui, eu acho.
I talked about this a lot earlier. We partner with Exit Lag. We are not getting paid in any way by them. They offered us payment to do this. They offered us referral money to do this. We could have made a lot of money off this. They offered us 7 days free trial for our users and referral money if we push this. We said we don't want any referral money. We want no payment. We don't want a single dime from you guys. All we want is you to get us users 30 days instead of 7 days. You can go get Exelag now. You don't have to pay for it. You can connect to Ravendawn for free for 30 days. For a lot of you, because our global proxy system is down, this will have a huge improvement to your ping for some of you. For some of you, it will be up to 50%. Even if you're pretty close, it might have a 10% improvement. It's free. Why not try it? Again, you're not required to sign up for a membership or anything like that. It's completely free, and we are not getting a single dime from them to promote this. We set this up only for you guys because we wanted to get something in your guys' hands, okay? Just so you guys know, the server is...
Vai baixar, Hildo.
They have it connected.
O X-Flag.
Be set up for the perfect route to our servers, okay? So it should automatically be set up. I'm pretty sure. If not, we are in East Coast US. Housing is a bit of a problem. I just reached 25. There's only
automaticamente do site.
Community land is getting an improvement. That is top of our priority list after the servers are under control. Okay, it will get houses, and the amount of tiles you will get will be better.
Comunidade land.
I always say this because I feel like I'm like picking a favorite child, you know, when I do this.
Comunidade land é prioridade.
Because I know so many of the top streamers, and I feel like I have good relationships with them, and I've chatted with them, and they've been supporters of us for years. And so I always feel like I'm picking who my favorite kid is, and I hate that, and I hope no streamer takes offense, especially if I'm like, oh, I post the same guy twice.
Não é lá, apenas que o jogo começa.
You guys are all amazing. You guys all mean the world to us. Somebody who I don't believe I've rated before.
Porque é lá que apenas o jogo começa. Verdade.
I don't think I've ever rated Gerardi.
É pra aproveitar o momento e tal, pô.
He's an amazing creator. He does like the Raven cast where he's had some of our staff on to just talk about the game. But hey,
Pô,
guys,
mano.
there are a lot of really
Lá
cool
que o jogo
creators
começa,
making content right
imagine,
now.
mano.
GGTS is an insane creator.
Cada quest que eu faço é 20 e
creator.
30 minutos.
Marble Host next time is a good idea. I won't
Pô,
because I kind of already said who I'm
15
doing.
minutos
That's
por
a good
aí.
idea. Taylera, GGTS is insane.
Olha os caras mandando save pros streamers.
Awesome. And so, and I'm missing 100,000 other people. Also, Jerry, he's probably asleep right now. Jerry's awesome too. I've known Jerry for like 8 years. So he's also a sweet creator. He speaks English, by the way. So if you guys are looking for an English creator, Jerry3, G-E-R-A-3 is the creator. And go follow him because he's like kind of probably top 5% of players right now. In a big English guild. And
Passa, mas a montaria tem como upar, pô.
And him and the boys can be a little toxic sometimes.
Manda um salve pra mim, ó.
And he's
tem como upar amor e já
so that's cool. So give him a follow if you're English. Jerry3, go follow him.
Algo de montaria.
Like 20 hours a day. He's offline, probably just trying to sleep right now. But
tá boa. Será que esse é o presente?
So go give him a follow. Give GGTS a follow. Taylera a follow. You can see them. They're streaming right now. All these creators are amazing, guys. I'm missing so many of them. But we are going to raid
Pra diminuir o tempo, tem quest que o waypoint é perto, mas tem quest que é longe, mano. Tu vai e volta muitas vezes.
Listen, I scroll through streams. I hear some stuff. No, it's fair. It's always like it's always like out of passion for the game. I get that. It's not that it doesn't faze me. And I like fuck with Jerry because of it. But no, you guys are awesome. But yeah. Okay, guys. I gotta go. Sorry, I gotta go log into the
story aí agora.
To do it. To do the raid. I can't do it through restream chat. I don't think. So give me 1 sec, guys. Again.
Tá bom.
Guys, I know you're all asking me to raid GGTS. I appreciate that. I raided him the last time we were live, and I've raided him a few times before. I don't think I've ever raided Girardi. And before I said Girardi, people were saying, dude, Girardi. Like, I know you guys are saying
Girardi.
Whoever I don't say. But go follow GGTS. If you want to watch GTS, leave the stream and go watch him because he makes awesome content too. They're both very different in how they make their content. I'd say in many ways, GGTS is a little bit more like analytical in his approach. So if you like that, go watch him. If you want to see that kind of podcast guy, go follow this raid. Awesome, amazing creators. And I'm sure they'll get a ton of viewers as soon as we end here.
Valeu.
But I'm not picking favorites. They're both awesome. But if I only raid the same person every time, then I am picking favorites, okay? Okay, I'm starting the raid. Again, if you're English or Portuguese, apologies. You might not want to join the raid because they speak Portuguese. Sorry, if you're English or Polish. But if you're Portuguese, have fun.
Português.
Girardi Twitch. Girardi Twitch. Make sure I do it right. Okay, go say hi from me. And I don't know, bug him somewhere, annoy him, just do something to make sure that my flag is planted.
Ele vai dar raid no stream pro pessoal ir pra lá.
Join that.
Dá todo mundo pro Gerard.
Have fun, or don't join it if you're English or Polish. Holy shit, 2,000 people already in the raid, 2,300 already in the raid, 24. You guys are insane. I'm just gonna send the raid because I'm gonna hop off, guys. Hey, enjoy. Please be patient with us, guys. We are working around the clock. If things are not perfect after this maintenance, we will have more fixes coming. I promise. We are here for you guys. We are with you guys every step of the way. Every time there's a little lag spike, we have shivers. Okay? Wait, you guys might not even be watching me anymore. No, you are still. Every single time something happens, we feel sick to our stomach. No one is more upset than us. I think now we are hosting. Bye. See you. Get out of here.
Bye.
Okay, now I've learned I have to turn off my stream because some people can still watch me. You creepers, if you're still here, you're weird. Okay, actually, all the YouTube people are still here. All the YouTube people, you're all weird. I know to stop OBS. I'm trash talking people still here. Yeah,
agora.
I see you too. Yeah, I see all of you.
Falou, Ju. E acabamos, cara. Pô. É isso aí, pô. Eu tenho que ver essa live
So something that was only removed in the open beta. It's a pretty low amount, and the truth is, it usually doesn't come big into play because there's other slow abilities in the game. So usually
isso aí, Hilda.
And it falls off really quick. It's essentially just made to be like a base way to kind of stay on top of
fechar isso aqui e abrir outra imediatamente, beleza?
In the end of the day, though,
quiser colar aí,
there are enough slows in the game in PvP that it's the reason why there's people that have played for multiple betas and they didn't even notice it before because it really isn't as big as you would think it is with how PvP combat already works. So.
E é isso. Falou, brozinho. Tô abrindo outra aí.
Wait, is this not the same Renee from our Discord? If so, you're asking all questions I know you know the answer to.
Fui.